suplex.
Good Saturday morning, everybody. Welcome to a live edition of Thoughts Count Anywhere, coming to you live from the Go Live Vegas studios in the heart of Las Vegas, Nevada. Thank you for August 20th. School is underway. Many parts of the country. It is hotter than Hades with humidity here and all over the place. More importantly, I forgot what it's like to do a show in studio over the last couple of weeks. Matt
He's
Mullen.
actually real in person.
I am, right? Poke me.
He's
I'm
real.
not a hologram.
He's real.
I'm
this
not a
time.
hologram. Matt Mullen there. How are you, bud?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing well. Thank you. Good to see everybody. Sitting in the middle, not the Chief.
No Chief today, unfortunately.
Chief is doing his thing today. We'll just leave it at that.
He's doing some running around.
Yes, running around. Very smooth running around. Quite a lot. Something about always sitting on the throne. I don't know what it was. He's a king, you know what I can say. Thomas Burnett sits in, of course, for the Chief. How are you, sir? TB. I call you TB, but I don't want anybody to start thinking you're like Tom Brady, so that's not going to work either. So
No.
what do we, the researcher, the historian. That was the one,
Historian.
right? Go with historian. Does that work for you?
Yes, that works for me perfectly.
Is that good? You like that?
Yeah.
Brandy, I have a funny feeling will come up with some other names. I don't know if there are any we
I'm
can
sure
actually
she
use
will.
on the air. But good morning, Brandy.
Like your nickname is Beep.
Yes. Can you have a beep for a message? Like pixelated or something? Good morning, Ronald. Good morning to everybody out there. 702-329-6947 is our number. Press the number 1 to come chat with us. We got a lot to talk about. If you're listening to us on the app, good morning to you all as well. We appreciate it. 702-329-6947. And what do we have coming up? Oh, there you are. Hey, Richard, we rock. All right. No roll. We just rock. Does that mean we have to sit like this all show? Like the earthquake edition of TCA? Anyway, thank you all. Of course, Twitter, hashtag Thoughts Count Anywhere. YouTube, just message us through the Shant just got beeped for his comment, by the way. There you go. Desert Shark. If you're on YouTube, thank you. Just send your messages, and we will get to them. My gosh. You know what? Being away from the studio for 2 weeks, I feel like I've been away for like years. But thank goodness for technology. It was like I was here with
Still
you.
here.
Here with you from a distance. Anyway, Mr. Matt, how was your week before we get into no spoilers for story time? Because we got a doozy, ladies and gentlemen, coming your way for story time in a few moments.
It was pretty good, actually.
Was it?
It wasn't too many insanely crazy things going on. It was enough to handle, and
Take care of business.
the main stupidity was employees this week.
Uh-oh. Oh, boy. Can't wait to hear some of that stuff. We may have a multi-story edition of Story Time with Matt. Cool. I'm looking forward to it. Mr. Thomas, what's up in your world since we last seen you?
Nothing, just work.
How many hours a week do you work for said company?
40.
Oh, that's all? I
Amateur.
mean, even as a amateur, right? Amateur. Well, when you're one of the management, I mean, if you schedule yourself for more than 40, you're not doing it right, you know?
If you're on salary and you schedule yourself more, you need to rethink some things.
Exactly.
No,
exactly.
thankfully I'm not salary. I don't want to go that high.
No, you're the assistant at the store, right?
Yeah,
Or are you
I'm the assistant front end manager. Yeah.
Gotcha. So you're like, what is that? AGM, assistant general manager? kind
Something
of
like
thing?
that, yeah.
Something like that. Yeah. Right. That and a couple of bucks. Says, thank
Yeah.
you very much for coming. Gotcha. I would love to know. I want you to think about this as we get ready to segue into story time. I want to know a crazy story or two from all your time in Albertsons.
Okay.
I don't care what it is. I just want to know because I'm just curious that way. So,
Okay.
because we know the crazy stuff that goes down to Fremont Street.
Oh,
and everybody loves that stuff.
Oh, I already have one from last week. So.
Okay, good. So keep that in
Yeah.
mind. We'll have an abridged version of
Yeah.
story time. We'll get ready. So you know what? Let's get right to it. It is time for now.
Story time with Matt.
It is now story
God, I didn't
time
have to
with
cue
the
it.
enforcer, Mad
You've
Ball.
taken away my job.
All right, I got a good one.
Can I take notes? I'm gonna
Yeah.
take notes. Although I got the Cliff Notes last night.
Usually during the day, I work on Fremont Street. At night, on like Thursday, Friday, Saturdays, I work at Heart Attack Grill, work in the door, help out everywhere. And there was this loud bachelor party, like group of bachelor party guys came in. They were just being loud and getting drunk, and we're like, whatever. They weren't causing any problems. And bachelor dude was wearing like these super tight leather pants, and he's talking about getting spanked, and I was like, that's gonna hurt. And then he talks to one of the girls, and they get on the microphone, and they're like, oh, he has a surprise for us. And I was like, I was kind of busy like running around getting stuff, and I was like, and I kind of looked over, and I was like, what's the surprise? And I was like, oh, dear Lord. This dude had on like a leather pig mask that I'm sure you're going to pop up the photo.
Yep, just popped up.
Did you see my comment to you in that last night?
And I was just like, bro, it's a burger place. It's not like a sex shop. Chill. He was going like all in on it.
Oh, that's a latex pig mask.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was like the plastic kind of thing that we saw Eric Rowan wear.
Nah,
That's-
shit was weird, bro.
Oh, my
weird.
God. Holy shit.
If it was just a regular sheet mask, I probably wouldn't even taken a picture of it.
Wow.
So we were making jokes I had to like try to translate in pig for like a half an hour. So it was hilarious.
How
Even
many-
one of the girls put that thing on.
How many oinks is no? How many oinks is yes? How many oinks is stop?
I think it was 1 for yes, 2 for no.
Now, was that guy the groom? Or was
Yeah.
he was the groom?
Yeah.
Somebody had to put him up to that.
It was weird. And I'm like, bro, it's just burgers. I'm like, the whole shtick isn't like spank you, but it's not like a dominatrix place.
Oh, my God.
She's touching my special area.
Spank you very much.
Spank you later.
There you go. Oh, my God. That's too fun. Listen, anything... What happens in Vegas, most people think stay in Vegas. But not on Thoughts Count Anywhere.
It goes on the internet and our show.
That's right. That's right. By the way, I saw a message come up from Prince from Tennessee. Thank you very much for tuning in. We appreciate it. My buddy Richie Garcia up in Minnesota is currently tuned in. We thank you, buddy, as always. So do you have any other stories, or is that the highlight?
That was the main highlight.
You don't need anything more other than that, right? All right, Thomas, let me hear one. Let me hear the one you have in mind for Albertsons.
Oh, last week some idiot kids come in, and they start fighting with each other
In the store.
in the store over by the produce area.
How old were they?
Probably
roughly?
like late teens, early
Okay,
20s.
so
Were
like
they
high
throwing fruits and vegetables at each other?
No, they were.
Oh, they failed.
They
no,
weren't trying to use
throw
the
it-
vegetables in any way, were they?
No, oh no.
Talk about
The
sex shops.
Fist line, and then they were choking each other out on the ground.
Really?
Yeah,
Did you ever find out what caused the fight
No,
between these
they-
friends?
don't know.
With
Well,
friends like that, who the hell needs enemies?
No, it just they probably started outside,
Wow.
somewhere in the neighborhood, and they decided to come inside, and
How many of them were there?
just two.
And your crack security team went over and broke them up, right?
They broke it up themselves. They ended
Oh.
up breaking up because we can't touch anybody. So
Even if it's in store?
we cannot touch anybody.
You cannot separate somebody?
Nope.
That's interesting. Why not? It's private property, isn't it? And you
Yeah,
have security
yeah.
there.
No,
Well, at least my Albertsons does. The one that is
No.
by me. Maybe because I'm on the richer side of town. I don't know.
yeah.
You don't know where to go with that. I see
If
he's
they-
trying. He's trying.
If they were kind of fighting near the eggplants, just kind of let it solve itself.
Oh, that would be right up there next to Spanky that we just saw, wouldn't it?
Oh, yeah.
So I didn't know that. Now, the reason I know it's private property because somebody a number of years ago dinged my car, and I couldn't call the police. I had to go to the police station to file a report, but police don't come onto private property.
Don't ever get into a car accident in a parking lot. That's like literally the worst thing you
Yeah,
can
when
do.
I was parked, this car was cutting it a little too close and clipped my passenger, my driver's side door. Cheyenne 7. Oh, Batgirl. See, that's all I needed to see. Batgirl of Hawkins. Thank you, Cheyenne. Good morning. Good morning. Where are you listening, Cheyenne? Would love to know. Don't say the Batcave because I want to know where that would be anyway. So
behind a waterfall.
is my exactly spelunking. Anyway, I find that interesting that security cannot separate an altercation.
No, they can't touch nobody.
And yet, our producer, AE, has shared stories in the past and he's filmed it, where there's been some funky stuff going on at one of the supermarkets near here. And his video clearly shows not only management, but security people walking them out of the store.
walking them, yeah.
Well, no, I understand that. But, they
Yeah,
were,
yeah.
but
I
they were
know.
involved at least.
I know what happened with that supermarket incident, yeah, and it was unfortunate what happened, but
Maybe
yeah.
that's a higher class supermarket.
Yeah.
So much for ever getting anything from Albertsons ever again. Okay, it is time now for I Hear Voices. All right, here we go. Rumor is the Hangman Page part of CM Punk's promo was not part of the show and was his receipt for bringing up the Colt Cabana situation during the build-up to Double or Nothing. There's been reports that CM Punk often voices his displeasure and has said he would quit. Sounds like there's a two-part issue there. CM Punk wanting to quit, and is it because of something like this, or is he just not happy in AEW? Let's tackle that side first. Matt?
I think the honeymoon phase of CM Punk and AEW is over.
You think?
I think the real CM Punk has finally showed his head.
Oh,
Now,
yeah.
So is that more of a reflection of him or AEW, do you think?
Him.
Him?
Yeah, him.
Okay.
Because if he's going to quit over something, some stupid remark about Colt Cabana, that's freaking... Why be so petty?
Well,
I mean, we all know, well, the majority of us all know what the falling out between Punk and Cabana is,
Right.
but still,
just for those who don't know, give us the abridged version.
they, back in 2014, after Punk quit WWE, then Thanksgiving weekend, he was on Colt Cabana's podcast, and they talked about the medical situation with Punk, and they both got sued, and I believe Cabana asked Punk to pay for half of the attorney fees,
right?
and Punk said no, pretty much said F off, and then ended the friendship.
I don't know. If you're sued together, why would you not consider that? But I come from a different world.
We're getting sued together, and you're responsible for 99% of the problem.
Yeah. That's
You would think, right?
Yeah.
You would think. William Hudson is in the chat room. Shared to TRC. Thank you, buddy. Furlough 7. Oh, now wait a minute. Now we're having Twitter discussions among Twitter followers. At Batgirl of Hawkins says, this Furlough 7 says good morning back to Batgirl. Sorry, that don't fly on this show. No, but anyway, Ronald Young shares with us that there's actually a city called Batcave in North Carolina. Guess where I'm moving to? Soon. I'm going to move to I didn't know that. That's, you know what, there's some interesting town names. That should be a whole nother conversation for a whole nother show. Thank you, William. Appreciate it, bud. You guys know that there's Intercourse, Pennsylvania. You guys know about that one. How about Hell, Michigan? Right? Just to name two. I remember driving through Pennsylvania going to my freshman year in college. There was another exit for a city called Scott Run. You can imagine what trick the eyes played on me when I read that exit sign for the first time. Right, it was the exit right after Intercourse, so you can kind of figure out the engagement there. But I had to do a double take.
Someone was going through some problems when they were naming streets.
Yeah. Well, that ranks up there with Zizix, doesn't it?
Yeah.
How did that come about? The guy's drunk at the bar. Let's just call this Zizix. Throw a couple of Z's, one Y, and a couple X's in there. Mr. Hudson, since you're late to the party, my friend, let's just say that Chief is taking care of personal business today. That he didn't, he's just doing his stuff at home. We'll leave it at that for right now.
He's being smooth about it.
It's who do we have here? At Diz Gels, someone pissed in my Cheerios this morning. Holy F. Was it something we said? If we've affected somebody 15 minutes into the show, then we're doing our job,
we
fellas.
are. We're doing a great
And that's
job.
even without Chief lighting up the crowd.
Yeah.
By the way, Chief, I know you're probably sleeping right now, but get back here soon. We want you to do what you got to do and get back here. William says, Punk's a quitter with the question mark. Shocked. So I think I agree with you. I mean, he's unhappy. Now, is it also because, obviously, he was injured? Molly at Molly 22, devil trying so hard this morning, like chill, bro. I don't know what devil you're talking about.
They're talking about the person that was just on.
Oh, okay. Maybe about the person that was just on. I don't know. Let's see. There you go. Now, see, William gets us back to business, back to Chief. So, all right. Listen, is it as much? He's been hurt the last couple months. We know what happened.
Yeah.
With the 2 titles now, which I think was totally ridiculous. $1JFF King David at Muscle Chef 9 says, good morning. Good morning, Muscle Chef. Twitter's been lighting up. Thank you so much. We love all of our followers on Twitter. We appreciate it. Of course, everybody in the chat room here. on Twitter, Facebook. Don't forget, download. If you got to leave us, take us on the go with you. Download the Go Live Vegas mobile app, available in your Play Store. If you have an Alexa, not a Bliss one, device, well, maybe some others. Her husband's got an Alexa device. Just tell Alexa, play Go Live Vegas Radio. We'll pop up there.
Oh, I'm sure her husband tells her to play a lot of stuff.
I'm sure, yes. That's, woo. We are, yes, exactly. All right.
You went there.
I know I did. Next one before we go to break. Rumor is WWE might bring SummerSlam back to Nashville next year. Did they have such a great time in Nashville that we got to do it back to back? I'm just curious.
Apparently so.
Apparently they had a good turnout and a bunch of events, so sounds like they're going back. It's like kind of what they did with Brooklyn. They went to the Brooklyn like 3-4 years in a row for SummerSlam.
Now, how much of the success, though, was that weekend due to Ric Flair's event the next night?
None.
The crowd, I'm just talking about people being in the city. You don't think there was any?
No, because they were already going to go to SummerSlam, so that was just...
Okay.
So there was what, like, how many people? There was like 12,000 people at Flair's thing, and there was like 50,000 at SummerSlam.
Okay, fair point. William shares in the chat room, Triple H nailed it years ago in his promo where he told Punk that Punk was only for change when Punk was on top. I think part of Punk's unhappiness, in my opinion, let's face it, prior to him winning the belt, I've shared this before, his return to wrestling was did not have as much fire and response to it as Bryan Danielson did going to AEW, in my opinion.
Yeah,
Punk showed up, everybody was excited, and then, like you said, the new car smell sort of, but Bryan Danielson, he's been riding that high wave the entire time. So I'm just wondering if he's unhappy because of the result.
And Bryan's making a new star in Daniel Garcia.
Yeah.
Well,
they had
Punk's
2 out of 3 falls this week, right? Wasn't it last night or something?
That was a hell of a match.
I think CM Punk had like a bigger like impact as far as debuting over Danielson solely because of like storylines and impact and all that stuff, but Danielson seems to have like a more lasting one just off like his wrestling alone.
And how about his comeback story from the neck? Maybe that's got something to do with it. A couple of years away.
He's been putting 5-star matches on in AEW since he got there.
From Twitter, the peanut butter puffin at Yummy Fifa. Afternoon, fellas. Good afternoon there, peanut butter puffin. PBP. I love the names people come up with. Tom shares in our chat room. Half, and he puts that word in all caps, of the stadium was empty for SummerSlam in Nashville. They just didn't show it on TV, but there is a photo. Now, was that on the hard cam side where they usually cover seats anyway?
Yeah, that's kind of what they did at Allegiant Stadium when SummerSlam was here too. But
yeah, all right. Well, that makes sense. That makes sense. But
I was like, even better though, like if you do like a 10,000 seat arena and you sell out 10,000 seats. Or you take like a 70,000 put arena and you put like 40,000 in, it's still getting
which would you rather
30
have?
more thousand people.
Exactly. Which is what did they say? 80% of something is better than 100% of nothing.
Yep.
So I'd rather have the 80% of that extra 30,000 people like you were just alluding to. I'll take that any day.
And the 40,000 people, you just sit them right, put the cameras in the right spots, and it looks full.
Exactly.
That's all you need.
That's called production. Speaking of which, it's time to go to commercial break. You're watching Thoughts Count Anywhere. Been a hot 20-minute start. We got a lot more to go. We have a rant coming up, I think, at the bottom of the hour. Somebody may surprise us with a rant. We're not sure, in honor of Chief. Birthday's coming up. More talk. We'll be right back.
This is the story of one man's incredible journey from 350 to 200-pound weight loss and his mission to help and inspire others. Aaron Phillips. People are praising Aaron's new book with 5-star reviews. Aaron's various humorous and wildly entertaining stories portray his rise as a sports announcer, his encounters with exotic and irregular entertainers on the Las Vegas Strip through his long-running Vegas Unwrapped radio show, and his contagious and positive style of pursuing success. Call now or visit our website or Amazon now to get your copy of Let My Voice Speak to You, stories from a Hall of Fame radio personality. Order now.
What's up, boy? It's Fatu over here with my man, Big G. I need you to check out the podcast, Thoughts Count Anywhere. This is the essential character EC3 on behalf of my dear friends at Thoughts Count Anywhere. The podcast for your mind when you need deep thinking about all things sports and entertainment.
Hello, this is Martin Casals, a.k.a. Marty the Mob, and you're watching Thoughts Count Anywhere podcast. Enjoy.
This is Impact Wrestling's Dash and Chris Bay, the ultimate finesser, former Finesse Division champion, and you're listening to Thoughts Count Anywhere podcast.
Thoughts Count Anywhere. Y'all watching it. This is my new tag team partner, Steve-O, a.k.a. Zeus, from the hit movie Friday, and from No Holds Barred.
Hi, I'm Sean Navari. Listen to Thoughts Count Anywhere for all your wrestling news.
Hey, what's going on? This is Axe, and I'm smashing the demolition. And we want to invite you to watch every Saturday morning. Thoughts Count Anywhere.
Go Live Vegas Studios, a unique multi-camera social media virtual content creators paradise. We offer high-end services using live streaming and film production for your personal or corporate, commercial or event and campaign needs. Pre-record or live stream to your audience on multiple social media platforms simultaneously. Fun and interactive with social media comments, phone lines, live remotes, audio Foley sounds, and Snapchat filters. Be creative, get recognized, and make money. We help you by providing an all in-house production team. Visit our website at golive.vegas.
All right, welcome back to Thoughts Count Anywhere. As we have in the studio here, we are watching last night's SmackDown, for those of us who didn't see it. But, obviously I read everything that took place in the highlights, so we had that going on here. Now, when Clash of the Champions comes on, fellas.
Clash of the Castle.
That's what I said. Clash of the Castle of Champions. Because just about every title belt's up for grabs there anyway, right? But, yeah, Clash of the Castle. They're not adjusting the times. I thought they would have maybe recorded it and then played it later on for those of us here. But for us, it's 10 a.m. our time. We're going to be on the air September 3rd or whatever that Saturday is.
You're going to watch a show of us coming
I know,
on.
really. This is going to be a reaction. You know what? We ought to make it a reaction show for that second hour.
Yeah.
That's what we did for the takeover before WrestleMania.
Yeah, we should do that. Just
because I remember Triple H showed up.
That's right.
And we went crazy for it.
So perhaps that might be something that we do in that day. Some guy in the chat room, Nicholas Burnett, says, "Good morning, gentlemen, and my brother." So Norberto asks us, will you guys be at the tapings for Impact in October? Norberto, not sure. We don't have all the details yet with that. Whether we personally go or not, we're not sure. But I don't know about these guys. I'm worried about reaching September 1st before I worry about October, before I worry about the month of October. But I'm sure in some capacity we'll be there, at least for one night, I'm sure.
I'm sure we'll be
one way or another. Because then in November, Unicon. And they always do something wrestling related there, so who knows what's going to happen there. So anyway, I digress as always. We have a message. Give us a call, 702-329-6947. Press the number 1. And why do we say that?
Calling on the phones because the chief said so.
Boy, that really sucked. I was just watching. Very simple words. Call in now. Why? Because the chief said so, and you look like a Chinese horror film.
I'm clipping that.
Man, oh man, oh man of Shevitz. Oh my goodness. All right, let's get into some WWE report stuff. Karrion Kross said on After the Bell before he returned, he was on the verge of signing with UFC or BKFC. True? No, I mean...
It's true. It came out of his mouth.
Yeah? I mean... But how close is close? You can have, like, I was sitting in the office getting ready to sign, or I was really considering it, but never went to sign the contract.
He said he was really close to, like, moving to Philadelphia to, like, train for UFC, but he was talking to the president of Bare Knuckle Fighting and was, like, really, really close to signing a 3-fight deal.
Wow.
So it would have been like Paige Van Zandt with her deal.
But Kross with all his jiu-jitsu and just him being him, he'd, like, murder people in that ring.
He would have destroyed it.
Nicholas in the chat room says, he says he's stoked for Unicon fandom. And then he writes about, that was a classic Godzilla lip movement from Nicholas. But I could feel the love between the
Lots
two
of
of you.
love right now.
Listen, obviously, as a big fan of his, I've had the pleasure of interviewing him a couple of times over the years. And we know the history here in Vegas and whatnot. I'm happy he stayed in wrestling.
Yeah.
The impact that he's had just within the first couple of weeks over on SmackDown and dealing with all of that. But because of the background that you just shared with his jiu-jitsu and all that stuff, him and Lesnar someday, just as a match.
Oh.
Nothing even has to be on the line
Take my money.
other than just supremacy.
As Matt always says, take my money now.
It'll be great.
Oh, you read the cue beautifully, and I don't think we captured it, but I saw it, but that was funny. What if you throw Bobby Lashley in there, and then Matt Riddle? You have a fatal four-way between the 4 MMA guys.
Screw
mixed
Riddle.
martial arts. No, but
Screw Riddle.
But I'm saying, yeah. Well, all right. Well, I like him personally. I like his approach.
What are you talking about, bro?
Yes, right. Speaking of which, think about that though. If you had a match, multiple guy match of everybody that has the MMA background,
It'd
that's
be good.
crazy.
It'd be fun.
Wouldn't it be fun? At least Lesnar and Kross. That
Yeah.
that would be crazy. Like you guys said, I mean, I'd be glued to the TV. Anyway, all right. So that's that one. What else we got? Whose hand was that we saw in the background of that Raw segment between Theory and Ziggler? A lot of thoughts. I think it might have come clear later on in the show, but speculation is
Loomis.
A lot of people are saying it's Bray Wyatt. Like all the little things backstage are like the hint of him returning.
Okay.
So it was like last week there was a car accident.
Right.
And then this week there was like the trash can on fire.
Okay.
And then a random hand sticking out of the door.
Okay.
So Loomis would be like a red herring, and it ended up being Bray.
That would be cool. I think he's gonna make like a bigger impact, like when he
Who's that? Wyatt?
debut, like
Wyatt?
re-debut. Wyatt. Yeah.
What if Wyatt and Loomis come back together?
That'd be interesting.
I mean, I like the swerve idea, and I obviously the glary hand in the background. You can't really tell whose it is, but some guy named Nicholas Burnett now on YouTube. Obviously, he can't figure out where he is. He also comments about he believes that Riddle will be champion one day, and then he also chimed in that
He said soon.
Soon. Well, that's one day.
Not happening, bro.
Loomis's hand is the other comment they put in there, but. You know, obviously they're making you think that some of this crazy stuff is Loomis, right?
Yeah, most likely it's Loomis,
but throwing in the Bray Wyatt piece, that's interesting. That's a very interesting
With
piece.
the Loomis thing, like what I said last week.
I didn't hear a word you said. I was in Lake
Yeah,
Havasu.
I know. You didn't care.
I think
you were locked in your closet.
I think everybody wants Bray Wyatt so back. If anything
They'll look for anything.
weird, like literally anything weird happens on that show, everyone tries to tie it to Bray Wyatt immediately.
Yeah.
But Loomis is back in Theory. Going back
No,
to that.
I was going to say they had history in NXT.
Yeah.
So it makes sense. Mm-hmm. But when he showed up the first time, when he was taken out from the crowd, though, AJ was in the ring.
Yeah.
Did he wrestle Theory that night? I don't remember who his opponent was.
No, he didn't wrestle Theory.
No, it was Lashley.
Okay, oh, that's right, Lashley for the belt or for the belt. But so I like what we're saying here is the feud between him and Loomis, Theory and Loomis in NXT. But that first appearance, so he had AJ in the ring, not Theory.
The second time he tried to do it, AJ was in the ring too.
Right. So maybe a swerve may be coming and thinking who the hand is, and the hand, if it's Bray, goes after Theory to get the briefcase, and now we have somebody else holding the briefcase for the rest of the calendar year. I don't know.
I'm like, if they're gonna go with the AJ and Loomis, I want to know. I'm looking forward to like what the story they're gonna tell.
And this is where we're seeing Triple H's impact on all of this now, because his philosophy is always to leave a little clues and little swerves and little hints along the way. And this is why with Triple H's takeover, so to speak, of his new position, this is why everybody's loving what he's doing in the short couple of weeks. In the honeymoon period, as many people would say thus far. Because Ziggler obviously is going to be is playing the get him over role in this.
Yeah.
Okay. So something's got to happen between Theory and either Loomis, or somehow Theory's story is involved in this with what's going on. Although Ziggler, though, did take out Theory right before SummerSlam during some of the TV shows where he got involved. Okay, but again, that could be all part. Could you imagine if Wyatt sides with Ziggler in this or something? I mean, Ziggler right now is a face because of what he's doing with Theory. But why are we ignoring Ziggler?
Well, if Wyatt comes back, he's gonna get the biggest babyface pop in the world.
Well, he'll get the biggest pop regardless.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. But can the Fiend come back? We talked about this last week or the week before. If Wyatt does come back into the WWE fold, how do they present him? Do they present him somehow as Bray Wyatt originally before the Firefly Funhouse stuff.
I
And,
think it's got to
and
go.
morph back into the Fiend.
I think it'll go back to the Triple H version, the Eater of the Worlds.
Okay, so like the family.
Yeah, and
Okay.
then he can bust out the Fiend when he needs to, like
So sort
Finn,
of-
like Finn does with
Like
the Demon.
Finn does with the Demon. That's a possibility.
I think we're just getting the Fiend back.
Straight as a Fiend. Interesting. Love your take on all of that stuff. Give us a call at 702-329-6947. You can also send us a message, of course, through Twitter using hashtag ThoughtsCountAnywhere. Send us a message on YouTube. Who do you think that mystery hand belongs to? And give us your thoughts on Bray Wyatt. Because if you want to see Bray Wyatt back, give us your thoughts on how you want to see him packaged in return. So that'll be a couple of interesting things coming down the pike. Okay. We are at that time where we have a Chiefs rant due. And
this channel will be sponsored by Charmin.
That's and the Tidy Bowl Man,
And
just for
Pepto-Bismol.
follow-ups. And the Tidy Bowl Man. Trish Stratus is back. She performed up in Canada, and I believe she's, as we're just seeing the promo, with Raw up until. Do we have a sound effect of like a spray can by chance?
Giggity.
And it's not the WD-40 he's using.
No, not the dog. Well, you never know. He might. That maybe is what started.
That might
it
be
all.
his signature scent.
Yeah, there you go. There's the sound right there. Oh my God, we love you, Chief. Get better, man. We need you back here. All right. So, do you guys have anything you want to rant about?
No, I got nothing.
You're good.
I'm good.
All right. I'm going to do the rant, and I'm just going to give everybody a forewarning that it's going to be a little personal. So with that, it is now time for.
Did I do something to piss him off recently? I think I'm good.
It is now time for
I think we're good.
Aaron's rant. Just for this one. All right. It is now time for the Chiefs rant, and in honor of Chief, I'm going to simply say my 3 minutes of fame is now down to 298. So, 258. I can't even count. Anyway, here's my rant, folks, and it's really on the serious side, because what I don't like is when you get stories and you're told from very reliable sources that you are being talked about or spoken about in not so necessarily the best way possible. And it gets back to that individual that's being spoken about. That's why, don't say that shit. Don't talk about me. If you're going to talk about me behind my back, do it in front of me, will you please? But seriously, I don't, when you hear this stuff back, all I've ever tried to do in 16 years being behind a microphone is help promote other people. Not everybody agrees with how I do it. Maybe not everybody agrees with what I say. Sometimes how I present myself when I'm pissed off at people. Take that for what it's worth. But the bottom line is this. If you don't like what I do and how I do it to promote other people as Aaron Phillips, writing my book, I am not the one that self-promotes. I do not like promoting myself. I appreciate when others show love and appreciate what I do. I'm tickled pink. I now have an IMDb page, which I shared this morning because of some work. I have finally been part in a movie, voice only, but the voice is there for a reason. So I'm going to simply say this to people. There's the old cliche, if you have nothing nice to say about somebody, don't say anything at all. But I'm going to ask you this. If you don't like what I do as Aaron Phillips, unfriend yourself from my page. Move on. If you are still friended with me and you don't like what I post, how I say it, who I promote, just skip it on your newsfeed. I don't want to hear messages coming back through backdoor. Come to my face, pick up the phone, have the balls to meet for lunch, and say what you got to say to the face. I don't like this backdoor shit. So get the fuck off my Facebook page, unattach me from social media, and move on with your life. Get my name out of your fucking mouths. In front of open doors or behind doors. I don't really give a shit. Get it out, move on, unfriend me, because I am done with bullshit people who will talk one way in front of me and don't have the courage to say their truth in front of my face instead of using the keyboard or talking with other people, third parties. This is a small town, ladies and gentlemen. 3 million people, but boy, it's a small town and people know everybody. You don't know who you're talking to that knows other people. Get off my page, get out of my life, because I will start unfriending people. And those people who I unfriend may be very surprised. That's it. Aaron, over and out.
I got to check something real quick.
Yes. Shit, he unfriended me.
Yeah, I just got unfriended.
So we'll just leave it at that. So that I just had to say that to get that off my chest after some news got back to me yesterday. And that's that. Phil Cohen, my dear friend, would not
Breaking news.
Breaking news.
People suck.
People suck. Phil Cohen would have never voiced that. He would just
Let it go.
no, it is what it is. But Aaron Phillips, on the other hand, will not. Toby at Shamar the Great, life really sucks. Well, it shouldn't suck as bad as it does at times. You know? Especially when you help other people, promote them, and they turn around and they look down on you. They think they're better than you.
Mm-hmm.
You know? They don't realize the work that I may have helped and put in, even though some work should be reciprocal in nature.
Yeah.
But there are others that will take support for granted. Let's just put it that way. And there are non-believers out there for each and every one of us in this world, and I hate to say it that way, and I don't mean to bring the show down. I'm keeping the tradition of Chief doing some serious topics every once in a while. But there are people in this world that just love bringing people down, talking about people behind backs, thinking it'll never get back to them. But when you're in the presence of that person, they'll smile to your face like the canary was eaten by the cat.
Mm-hmm.
And don't cough on those feathers there, Aaron. So, all right, with that, let's move on, please. Let's get back to our WWE report. Thank you, Tom. I appreciate it. Triple H lifts the ban on wrestlers using Twitch. Didn't he also lift the ban really on all social media at this point, pretty much, or was it just Twitch?
I'm pretty sure. All I heard is Twitch now because a couple wrestlers have gone back to it, but it was always entertaining to see like AJ Styles and Zelina Vega and a couple other ones on Twitch. They were always
Zelina really
entertaining.
never stopped. Even though she was released, she kept doing it on her own.
Yeah.
Right?
But then, like, once, like, WWE got, like, control of everybody's Twitch, like, whatever money they would earn on Twitch would go towards their downside guarantee. So they knew it wasn't worth doing, so a lot of them stopped, like, immediately. But now if they can do Twitch and, like, make money off of it like they were, it's a good revenue stream for some of them because some of them are, like, real popular.
Absolutely.
They said AJ was making, like, a couple $100,000 a year just off of Twitch.
Wow.
And you would think that would then relate into merchandise opportunities for WWE. So, but again, that's Vince.
Because at the end of the day, you're
Triple H.
getting you're possibly getting a different crowd from like the gamer standpoint.
Right.
That can be like, because I've seen people on like this Twitch stream and be like, "What do you do for a living?" And they were like, "Oh, I'm gonna go check out the show." And like, they can actually get like new viewers off of like this kind of stuff.
Connor through Twitter at let's see, God what is that? God owns us lovers or something. I can't tell what the middle is, but anyway, Connor on Twitter says WWE cutting Flash Morgan right after he signed a new deal is so evil, and that goes back to what's happening in NXT, right?
Yeah.
NXT UK, and that'll lead right into the next topic, is getting rid of NXT UK, but will launch NXT Europe next year, which caused the release of some 23 talents.
I think they're going to be re-signed once they figure out what they're going to do with NXT Europe. I just think this is like, let's just cut people right now, let them go do what they want to do, make a living, and then once we get NXT Europe launched, we can bring them back.
I'm sure since it's August, Triple H was like, "Hey, this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna make NXT Europe 100 times bigger than what we're doing in NXT UK. We don't want to tie you guys up waiting for months, go earn money while we're figuring this out, and we'll re-sign all of you."
Yep, probably.
So don't go signing contracts with weird places.
Yeah.
As long as all them guys hit the independents as being with the WWE name, they're all going to go make good money.
Oh, yeah, they will.
Everywhere in Europe. So when they launch that thing, they'll be even bigger names. And they can hopefully demand more money from WWE. But they released like every big name from there except for Tyler Bate, which went to NXT. Which is kind of funny because they didn't even air his title win yet.
Yeah, he comes
but
out.
he came
He
with
came with
the
the belt. And like nobody knows. Like
spoiler. Right? Can you put that one back? Oh, I'm sorry, you don't have to. The last individual who's just the message came through on Twitter states that CM Punk is the most overrated wrestler.
Just by his attitude, yeah.
Now, is he overrated? Or back then, before he left, was he overrated?
This is how crazy CM Punk fans are.
Okay.
The new set of AEW figures just came out. And people are just finding them. My friend Ryan found the chase of CM Punk. And he was like the second one to put one online. Guess how much he sold a $20 figure for?
A couple of hundred?
Like 500?
$800.
Shut out. Wow. I'm in the wrong line of business.
Yeah, we are.
And so we need somebody to make action figures for TCA, and then we can sell them.
Hell yeah.
We'll throw, I actually have a link for bobbleheads, but they're pretty expensive, though.
Figures.
But then we can throw it into the pot for anybody that signs on to Chiefs OnlyFans page. We'll send them out with the video with the exercise
There we
tape.
go. Mr. Producer's putting it up right now.
There you go. There
the
you go.
only fan.
That's it. But listen, memorabilia collectability is, would we have thought
right
10 years ago? Would we have ever thought
Hell
that
no.
that the lunch boxes we had as kids, the signed pictures, would have ever really led to an industry that it is today?
All the action figures we had that
Everything.
we took out of the box.
All the wrestling figures I played with as a kid, and you see them go for hundreds of dollars, and I'm
Right.
like, I destroyed all them things.
I know,
Yeah.
right? If we only knew then what we know now, right?
Mm-hmm.
But it is crazy. Listen, he sells merchandise. There's no question. Okay, Punk does. So it's I don't know. Like I said, I have been underwhelmed with him in AEW since his big return and all that sort of stuff. Daniel Bryan, to me, or Bryan Danielson now, is probably the benchmark for anybody that comes in from another, promotion. And I don't think anybody can ever reach that except for maybe an AJ Styles-ish type of competitor.
I think it just depends how they come in and if you like storylines or if you like wrestling more. Because Bryan Danielson was like the wrestling part. CM Punk was the storylines.
Yeah.
True. And Tom Crawford says CM Punk is a great sports entertainer, along the lines of what you were just alluding to, which is a great point. And people forget it's just how overwhelming Bryan Danielson's return was. We forgot Adam Cole. Not forgot, but Adam Cole walked in at AEW right ahead of him. Not
Yeah.
right ahead of him, but
Right
half
before
hour.
him.
Just a few minutes before.
Just a few minutes before, and no way was Bebe's response anywhere near what Danielson's was.
No.
So that to me is Impact.
Yeah.
Not Impact Wrestling, but that's Impact. So we'll see. Anyway, so that CM Punk, he's still he's got this interim title that they did with his injury. I don't know about you guys, but every other promotion, including WWE, you get injured, you're dropping the belt. You got to leave the belt because you're injured. You're out more than 30 days.
It's the boxing MMA thing that Tony Khan decided to
Bullshit.
do.
Tony Khan's like the ultimate CM Punk mark, so he's like, I'm not taking the belt off of you.
Well, I listen.
It was his fault anyway. He put him in that stupid 6-man tag that was pointless after the
It was
pay-per-view.
CM Punk's fault for trying to jump into the crowd. That's how he busted his foot.
If Punk had relinquished the belt, and let's say Moxley had won the belt in a tournament on its own, would we still not be as excited about Punk and Moxley for the title instead of unifying these titles or whatever they're going to do with it? Because if Moxley wins, the interim title's got to go away, right?
Well, yeah.
The regular title.
Well, yeah, no matter what happens in our time.
So wouldn't we have been just as excited to see Punk and Moxley go at it if the regular belt was on Moxley anyway?
Yeah.
I'm excited for the match on Wednesday. I want to see where they
He'd
go.
be like, I never lost it. I want my damn title back now.
We have a question from Twitter. So, guys, let's talk about this. Is a good question. So, this comes from Inku Surprise Paleos at Inku Paleos 1. So, is Toxic Attraction now on the main roster, or do they go back to NXT? If Toxic Attraction are now on the main roster, what happens to Mandy Rose? Is she staying on NXT for a while, or is she joining her teammates on the main roster once she drops the NXT Women's title? The back half of that, I think, is the interesting part. If she drops it, then I think we're going to see her move up because everybody's talking about how weak the women's roster is.
Yeah.
And she's not the same person now that she was when she went back to NXT.
No.
Oh, no, not
I
at
think
all.
she's much more polished to be able to be on the main roster.
Oh, yeah. She could definitely have great matches now with Charlotte and
Yeah.
Bailey and Alexa and them.
Absolutely. She could definitely be in the mix with that.
Oh,
now,
yeah.
we now have a faction with Bailey and Dakota and
Io.
and Io. So there's toxic attraction in some capacity, even though it's another heel faction, so to speak. And I would rather them stay heel. I don't want to see them come up as a face.
No, they need to stay
Do they
heel.
come up as a faction? Maybe.
They should.
I mean, you would think, right? You got them. You got the other. You got Bailey's group. You know, who can we put on the babyface side? You got Alexa.
Well, you already
you
have
got Asuka.
Well, you have Bianca.
I'm sorry, on the other side. Yeah, go ahead.
You have Bianca, Asuka, and Alexa, babyface side.
But then what does that do to the main title, though? I don't know if you want to take Bianca out of that in a way. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I think at Extreme Rules in October, it's going to be Bailey and Bianca for the women's title, Raw
Okay.
Women's title, and then
Okay.
Bailey wins.
We just had a message Twitter coming up before Tom's message here where he says heels versus heels are always fun. And that always tends to make one team gray.
Yeah.
You know, that sort of face, sort of
Yeah,
heel.
because one
but they,
team's got to work as a heel,
Exactly.
the other team's got to work as a babyface.
prior to that, the individual put that Saray will be a NXT champion soon. Just as a thought on
I
Twitter.
can see
Thank you.
Mandy having to work like double duty for like a month or so.
Yeah, why not Charlotte?
I think
did
they're
it.
going to make her do it until like Zoe's 100% and then drop it to her and then
Yeah,
Right.
Zoe gets her
off
revenge.
to SmackDown she goes.
That's a good point. All right. We are a little late for our second break of the hour. Let's get to it so we can wrap up the first hour. A lot of
This
great
is the
conversation.
story of
We
one
want you
man's
to join
incredible
us.
journey
Huh?
from 350
Okay,
to
never mind.
200-pound weight
We'll be right
loss
back.
and his mission to help and inspire others. Aaron Phillips. People are praising Aaron's new book with 5-star reviews. Aaron's various humorous and wildly entertaining stories portray his rise as a sports announcer, his encounters with exotic and irregular entertainers on the Las Vegas Strip through his long-running Vegas Unwrapped radio show, and his contagious and positive style of pursuing success. Call now or visit our website or Amazon now to get your copy of Let My Voice Speak to You, stories from a Hall of Fame radio personality. Order now.
It's not the worst podcast ever, is it? It's the best podcast. Thoughts count anywhere. All your wrestling news, all your hobbit all your gimmickry. Go on over, listen wherever your podcasts are downloaded. The Thoughts Count Anywhere podcast. I'm the big LG Doc Ellis. That's my endorsement. Booyah!
This is John Cena. I just wanted to send you a congratulations on your podcast. Thoughts count anywhere. Because indeed they do. Thoughts are important. I mean, what would we do without them? And how can they not count anywhere? Is there a place that thoughts don't count? I can't think of one. Well, I just wanted to say thank you very much, congratulations, and good luck on the podcast. Thoughts count anywhere, because they do.
Go Live Vegas Studios, a unique multi-camera social media virtual content creators paradise. We offer high-end services using live streaming and film production for your personal or corporate, commercial or event, and campaign needs. Pre-record or live stream to your audience on multiple social media platforms simultaneously. Fun and interactive with social media comments, phone lines, live remotes, audio Foley sounds, and Snapchat filters. Be creative, get recognized, and make money. We help you by providing an all in-house production team. Visit our website at golive.vegas.
All right. Cuts us off early. Doesn't bring my mic up on time. Way to go.
One job.
Well, now, two. Now he's the mic. So I'll just give him the Jake Roberts salute on behalf of Chief.
All I have to go is back to Zale.
All right. We are close to wrapping up the first hour, as always. 702-329-6947. Press the number 1. Man, we would love to hear some vocals. Not
Call
sure.
in. Call in.
Are you going to do it?
Yeah.
Never mind. The queues get lost around here so quickly.
So.
No, they're not busy. The phones are wide freaking open.
Somebody, anybody call. We don't care who. You could be the man on the moon for all we care, just as long as you get a voice.
Andy Kaufman?
Yeah.
Now, if Neil Armstrong calls in, that's a whole different subject.
Oh, that's definitely a whole different story, yeah.
All right. Let's see, why do I want to go? Hey, happy birthday to SmackDown. 1,200 episodes. Is that crazy?
That's amazing.
Crazy.
Can you go? Did that comment blitz up there fast for a reason? Put that back up there. I just saw something from Twitter. Breeze acting coach. Oh, at BAC Stratus. One could argue she should have beaten Asuka in NXT as well. She as in...
Who?
Who would it be?
Bailey, probably?
Bailey? Okay.
It was whoever you're talking to. This was like 10 minutes ago.
Oh. Nothing like timely
Observant
messages.
the producer is.
1,200 episodes of SmackDown. 1,200 episodes.
And they mentioned the one in April, the one-off that they did as the first episode.
Yeah. Well, didn't they start SmackDown because of The Rock and his catchphrase, layeth the SmackDown and all of that?
Mm-hmm.
You talk about a guy, listen, we know his legacy in wrestling is far above anything.
Yeah.
But then,
What The Rock is cooking.
Hopefully we don't get sued now.
no, we didn't play the music. We didn't play his music in the background. What we should have is the soundbite where he says, layeth the SmackDown, because that would be appropriate for our topic of SmackDown. Anyway, 1,200 episodes. How long have they been on the air for 1,200? You're talking about
Since
99?
April 1999 was the first episode.
20, was that just under 30 years? Oh, look at that.
Whoa.
Oh, I know who's calling. We have a caller calling in all the way from Minnesota. It's not Bob Backlund. It's not, who else is up from that way? It's not Brock Lesnar, but it's my good friend Richie.
Larry Henning.
How are you, buddy?
Hey, not bad. Guys, last night, you have to get back on the, SmackDown for a little bit.
Yes.
With everything else going on. But I'll tell you, that Donnybrook that happened last night, oh, my God, that went on for how many? 15 minutes plus a break?
Which one are you talking about?
You can tell.
You talking about the five-man?
You can tell there's a, you can tell that Vince is out and the kids are running the show again, and I think it's good.
Right on. As we all do. Everybody's loving the changes. Things seem to be going in the right direction the first couple of weeks since Triple H has taken over. I think everybody's happy with the product. I think SmackDown has really turned it around. And now also, too, I'd like to see what happens with NXT.
Huh?
Because
there it is.
Right, because Sean also got elevated to a new position. Thank you, buddy.
All right, see you this afternoon. Bye-bye.
Yes, sir. Thanks, Richie. He's a good guy. He's such a good guy, Richie. But yeah, I mean, again, here's an example of the touches that Triple H and the regime. And now again, you probably have it on the sheet, but it was announced yesterday that Sean has now an executive title, right?
Vice
for
President
NXT.
of Talent Development Creative.
For NXT, right?
Overall.
Yeah. Basically, yeah. That's what it is.
For NXT, right? I mean, so that's important because we all know it was him and Triple H together making the black and gold.
Mm-hmm.
And for the first time listening to that other show that Chief and I like so much, I think is like on our 737,000th favorite radio show.
Yep.
They talked about how one of them, Mark Henry, actually picked NXT for his winner this week. And it's the first time in 2 years on a Saturday that NXT was selected by any of the hosts as the show of the week. So that's got to say something. Again, already the touches. Now, will we see the black and golden colors come back? Probably not.
No, probably not the
But the
colors.
showing and the talent, what they're doing, certainly has got to make people happy with what they're seeing
Definitely.
even in NXT, right?
Uh-huh.
Braun
Gotta be.
Breaker is a star. I mean, how soon before he comes up, or they're going to help develop NXT further? Who knows?
I'd like to see, with all this talk of Cody winning the Rumble that we've been saying for the last few months, I'd rather see Breaker come up and win the Rumble and let him win the championship at WrestleMania. Even if it's Roman still champion by WrestleMania. That'd be the ultimate rub right there. Braun Breaker ending Roman Reigns' 1,000-day, or whatever it'll be by then, championship reign. That'd be historic. Braun Breaker is the one that ends it.
You know how mad I would be if it was Braun Breaker versus Roman Reigns at WrestleMania? If it's not The Rock versus Roman Reigns, I'm going to be so mad.
But we've talked about that. That match, though, doesn't really need a title.
No, not at all.
There is a different title at stake between those two. But
The
it
head
doesn't
of
have
the
to be
table
called.
match.
Well, yeah, pretty much. And let's face it, I think we all know pretty much what that outcome would have to be when they wrestle, right? When they fight. So that's a match that doesn't need a belt.
No, doesn't no.
But the Clash of the Castle coming up, I got it right this time. But it still will be. Thanks, Tom. Appreciate it, buddy. You've got some interesting setups going into that card.
Mm-hmm.
Drew McIntyre, you've got Sheamus now and Gunther going for the
That's
Continental
gonna be
title.
fun.
You got there could be some shakeup. However, who realistically is going to step up and beat Roman Reigns for the title right now? Who's left?
It's got to be.
TikTok.
It's got to be Drew.
Talk.
So does he get involved? Does the match across the seas, does it become a triple threat somehow? Or do they wait until after that match there between Drew and him before they somehow get Kross involved in it at some point officially? Good afternoon, John. God, sorry.
Well, after Clash at the Castle, we probably won't see Roman until the build for Survivor Series. Because I don't think he's going to be working Extreme Rules.
Probably not. I think that's already come out. If I recall, I thought I saw an article that says he will not be participating. So Ronald says in response to what you just said, if they are listening to the fans, nobody wants to see that, Thomas
Funny,
Burnett.
Ronald, funny.
Exactly.
Exactly, right? But they've already said he's not going to work Extreme Rules, but it's not the first time that a heavyweight belt hasn't been on the line at a premium live event.
Money in the Bank.
Yeah, Money in the Bank right there, yeah.
So it wouldn't be the first time. So even if he keeps the belt,
But I think it,
have a build up to...
with all this build, though, for Drew lately, I mean, unless Kross interferes, that crowd is going to...
Drew, in my opinion, Drew has to do something to get that moment that he unfortunately didn't get in front of thousands of fans during WrestleMania,
If they don't do it in Wales, it's never going to happen.
I think he's going to get that feeling for like 5 minutes.
And then
A-Town
I think he wins, and then like Kross comes out and annihilates him, and then Theory comes out,
and then we hear A-Town down.
Bye-bye, title. And then that makes easy work for Kross to get the belt, and Vegas is one happy place.
That'd be a very unhappy Wales if Drew does not walk out as champion.
But imagine the heat on Theory.
The heat on Theory would be freaking.
He seems to have.
He would need security to get out of that place.
He seems to have cooled off a bit because he didn't do himself any favor when he tried to cash in. Lesnar took him out with one F5 and he just laid there for 20 minutes. You know
he
what
got
I'm saying?
F5 on the floor on the briefcase.
Well, yeah, but how many times Lesnar kept getting up after he kept being
but
super kicked and speared.
Yeah, but it's Lesnar.
Well,
come on, you can't.
Even Roman got like F5'd, like 4 or 5 times?
Yeah, you can't compare Theory and Lesnar. Come on now.
Tom Crawford shares that he believes Kross is already scheduled, quote unquote, to face Roman at Survivor Series. I didn't read anything about that, so I can't comment on that.
I would love to see it.
Ronald says Roman is going to lose one of the titles so Raw can have a champion. That I believe.
That's what we've been talking about.
How are they going to get
all
belt off of him?
That's what we've been talking about. How are they going to do this?
If you were the undisputed champion, why would you only put one belt up? Unless Roman acts so scared that he's like terrified of somebody. He goes,
I'll give you half the belt.
I'll defend this one, but not this one.
But if that would totally ruin his character, because if he wasn't afraid of Brock Lesnar to do that, who is going to be that person? Kross?
Probably.
Or McIntyre.
No, they've already set up this match. Unless we still got 2 weeks before the show. But
so after the bro kick and stuff on Friday, he can be kind of cowered out of it and be like, I'll defend the Universal title, but the WWE title staying here.
Gotcha. Because let's face it, the television companies, they want a title on each show. Yeah. That's part of what we're alluding to here. And there's big money. There's more money involved with the TV companies that are paying the WWE for their product, and they want the best possible show, and that includes somebody with a belt on it.
Speaking of TV, I don't think I put it on the thing because I saw it this morning. But Nick Khan said that there's a possibility they might move Raw and SmackDown to Netflix Live.
Oh.
Yeah, I heard that. Yeah.
That is not best for business.
No,
in my opinion.
It wouldn't be. But
so why would they put it on Netflix?
I think that's
it all
really
depends
good for
on who
business.
Makes a bigger offer.
No. What I'm saying is you've got unless they're going to move the pay-per-views off of Peacock when their contract expires.
Well, yeah.
Why would you have the pay-per-views over here and the TV shows over here? The current channels that the shows are on now, I know they're not the Peacock network, But USA
It's
and
part of the
Fox
Peacock, yeah.
is, yeah, that's true, but is more available because not
Yeah.
everybody has Netflix.
No.
Not everybody has.
I think
those
more
streaming
people have Netflix than people have cable.
Well, it could be, but
Well, I have
The
satellite.
amount
But
of
they
people that have gotten rid of their cable in the last 5 years and just do streaming stuff.
I have a satellite and all the streaming channels.
Like if you look at the ratings for Stranger Things over the most popular show on cable TV, they're not even close to each other.
And the access for that, of course, is that people can download those streaming services as you can USA. But
and they could get more money than this goes into pop culture, but they could get more money. I think Nick Khan's thinking that they're going to get more money now than the Big Ten's about to get from.
$7 billion or something? For
I
the
think
Big
it's
Ten?
$8 billion. Yeah.
Bottom line is, if something does happen, we've been talking about this ever since Nick Khan came to the scene. I still believe within 5 years somebody else will be the owner of WWE. With that,
if you smell what the Rock is
so
cooking.
cool. All right, hour number one. We are a minute or two over.
What the Rock is cooking.
You're watching Thoughts Count Anywhere. Hour number two coming up right after this.
This is the story of one man's incredible journey from 350 to 200-pound weight loss and his mission to help and inspire others. Aaron Phillips. People are praising Aaron's new book with 5-star reviews. Aaron's various humorous and wildly entertaining stories portray his rise as a sports announcer, his encounters with exotic and irregular entertainers on the Las Vegas Strip through his long-running Vegas Unwrapped radio show, and his contagious and positive style of pursuing success. Call now or visit our website or Amazon now to get your copy of Let My Voice Speak to You, stories from a Hall of Fame radio personality. Order now.
What's up, man? It's your boy, 752. I'm here with my man, Big G. I need you to check out the podcast, Thoughts Count Anywhere.
This is the essential character EC3 on behalf of my dear friends at Thoughts Count Anywhere. The podcast for your mind when you need deep thinking about all things sports and entertainment.
Hello, this is Martin Casals, a.k.a. Marty the Mob, and you're watching Thoughts Count Anywhere podcast. Enjoy.
This is Impact Wrestling's Dash and Chris Bay, the ultimate finesser, former Finesse Division champion, and you're listening to Thoughts Count Anywhere podcast.
Thoughts Count Anywhere. Y'all watching it. This is my new tag team partner, Steve-O, a.k.a. Zeus, from the hit movie Friday, and from No Holds Barred.
Hi, I'm Sean Devari. Listen to Thoughts Count Anywhere for all your wrestling news.
Hey, what's going on? This is Axe, and I'm smashing the demolition. And we want to invite you to watch every Saturday morning. Thoughts Count Anywhere.
Go Live Vegas Studios, a unique multi-camera social media virtual content creators paradise. We offer high-end services using live streaming and film production for your personal or corporate, commercial or event and campaign needs. Pre-record or live stream to your audience on multiple social media platforms simultaneously. Fun and interactive with social media comments, phone lines, live remotes, audio Foley sounds, and Snapchat filters. Be creative, get recognized, and make money. We help you by providing an all in-house production team. Visit our website at golive.vegas.
All right, welcome back. Hour number two. Thoughts Count Anywhere. We still have a ton of stuff to talk about. We want you to chime in. 702-329-6947. Press the number 1-855-502-4321. Sarah on Twitter. I'm sorry, I cannot translate that message other than WWE is the only thing I recognize in there.
Nick, if you're in the chat room.
So we need that. What? All right. So if someone who sees that message can translate it, we would appreciate it. Because
Nick,
at least
I give you one job.
if he's still watching, he better
Yeah,
be.
he might be sleeping by now.
So, because I want to know if that person's talking bad about us or not. That's why. Anyway.
Well, it said WWE, so I don't know if they're talking about us or...
702-329-6947. As you see, you can use Twitter, Jennifer from Hawaii is checking in.
Good
Hello,
morning,
Jennifer.
Jennifer.
Aloha.
Aloha. As who was the guy on ESPN when a home run would go? I can see his face. I can't even say. He would always say, "Aloha means goodbye." And that was his. Who was it?
Berman.
It wasn't Berman.
You sure?
Yeah, it wasn't Berman. I'll think of it after the show, but it was not Berman. But anyway, Jennifer, thank you. I know she's just joining us. She messaged me this morning. She says, I got to do something with my nephew, got to go somewhere. So she's going to be in and out, and I'll probably miss some of the shows. So she's in there
Watch
now.
the replay.
Exactly, because Chief is not here, as you see, Jennifer.
You can go back in the replay and watch me going nuts with a call-in.
So Jennifer just asked, "Where's the Chief?" Well, he's taking care of some. How do we say it? He's running around.
He's a little under the weather.
And quickly. Let's just say that commercial with the bears that push the Charmin.
Yeah.
He needs a few of those bears in there right about now. But anyway, so yeah, that's where he is. We got Thomas sitting in for him. 702-329-6947. We're still having fun though, Jennifer, even though Chief is not with us. We're picking on Thomas here, our historian. Why? Because we can.
Yep.
Anyway, it's our show. If he wants to come back, he has to deal with it. So anyway, McIntyre's promo on Raw.
I deal with it every week.
That's it. Well, I'm sorry, but I missed McIntyre's promo on Monday. What was it about? Give me a quick Cliff Notes
that
version.
That was heated.
You can tell that like nothing's scripted pretty much anymore because that came from his soul.
Okay.
It came from when Kross on last Friday, called him the Chosen One, and when he came out and confronted Owens, he was like, "Somebody called me the Chosen One. I got fired. I earned my way back. They called me.
I didn't call them.
I've beaten everybody. I became champion." And you can tell that that came from a deep down place. That
you can call yourself a sports entertainer. You can call yourself a pro wrestler. You can call yourself a prize fighter. But let's have a wrestling match.
He's like, "We're wrestlers in a wrestling ring. Let's wrestle."
Yeah.
And somebody made a meme of like Vince hearing this and he was on a stretcher because he hates the word wrestler.
Yeah, but Triple H, obviously allowed that to come back, which I think is great.
Yeah,
it is what it is.
About time.
Yeah, absolutely. A lot of the performers now that are in the main card level, let's just say on both shows, men and women, apparently they are being given a lot more leniency now and flexibility in their promos.
Probably giving bullet points again and just say, go out and say what you want, but just touch on these subjects.
Absolutely, and I think that's the right way to do it because then they can really put their personality in it.
That's how it should be because you can tell the emotions back into this stuff. You can tell when stuff's scripted because they're saying their lines and you can just tell they're thinking of what they're about to say next.
It's interesting how it just that little dynamic.
The McIntyre thing that came from his heart for sure.
Yeah.
You can definitely see that. All right. SmackDown last night, Ronda Rousey got arrested. Anybody shocked? Anybody have flashbacks to Steve Austin getting arrested? I don't know. Just call me crazy.
That's what I was thinking when I was rewatching right now. Are they trying to make her the female Stone Cold now?
I don't know. But you know what the residual effect that's happening now is they're making now Liv Morgan is the champ. Love or hate
what
her.
a shitty job they're doing with
But
her.
I was just going to say, they are making her look so flippin' weak that now she's going up against Baszler, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
The only logical outcome that I see, Rousey gets involved. The baseball announcer was Harry Callis.
The aloha means goodbye.
Nah, it was somebody on ESPN from the late 80s, 90s.
Stuart Scott?
I could see his face. It wasn't Stuart Scott. He's always as cool as the other side of the pillow. I could see the guy's face, so I'm going to have to search it, and I'll come up with it. But it was maybe Harry Callis also said it, but that's not who I was thinking about. It was one of the commentators on ESPN. Like I said, I could see his face. I just can't come up with the name. But anyway, the only legitimate outcome that I could see, because outright, Shayna should beat Liv in 30 seconds and be done, right?
Mm-hmm.
Ronda somehow gets involved and costs Baszler the belt. Liv keeps it, because I don't think Ronda, although it would be good for business, Ronda going up against Shayna for the title would be quite interesting, but I don't think Ronda wants that. I think she wants to beat Liv because that's who beat her. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So, unfortunately, I don't like what they're doing with Liv because they're making her look to be a weak champion, injure shoulder or not. They're really making her look weak, and I don't think that's doing her just because when she won and she came out, let's face it, the crowd popped heavily. The crowd's been behind her now for a couple of years. And I just think they're doing her a disservice in
No,
what they're doing with her.
It was like last week when that contract signing segment, Shayna kicked her ass the whole way, injured her arm, and then all of a sudden she gets a springboard bulldog with that bad arm? Come on now.
Right.
You talking about making the business look bad? That made it look like 1,000 times worse than anything I've seen in a long time.
Yeah.
Because Shayna actually had to carry her to get to the spot to put to the table. Because the table was too far away.
Right.
The whole segment last week was awful.
They're not doing good with this.
No.
So there has to be some sort of, I would say, payoff. That's usually at the end of a feud. But Baszler going up for the belt. I have to think Ronda's going to get involved somehow, cause a DQ, cause something for Liv to keep the belt.
And maybe do a three-way
No, maybe. They might do
at
it that
Extreme
way.
Rules.
But I think Ronda wants to, quote-unquote, beat Liv because Liv beat her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, and that's the best payback that you can have is beating the person who beat you to get the belt back. At least I think so. Not that I've ever wrestled in a ring, but at least that's the way it appears. Ric Flair believes the Ultimate Warrior shouldn't be in the Hall of Fame. Thoughts?
So Flair said that because...
Hold on. Nick says, the girl said that she wants to go to a WWE event with someone. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, brother.
Send in your applications. And WWE wanted to turn Ronda heel, but it's not working.
I think it's actually... They were booing her last night.
Yeah, they were. Okay.
But that's Canada. They do weird things up there.
Send your emails to Thomas Burnett at...
Yeah.
All right, Ric Flair. Paraphrase what Ric Flair, if you guys are aware of this. What did Flair say about Ultimate Warrior?
The Warrior shouldn't be in the Hall of Fame because he held the company up for money back in 91 after SummerSlam, after the match made in hell. That's why he got fired and he come back to WrestleMania. And then he sued the company years later after he got fired a second time. So Flair's like, you shouldn't be, after you sue the company and hold the company up for money, you shouldn't be rewarded.
Okay. Because of that,
Yeah.
we he believes, I'm sure there's plenty of wrestlers over history through the WWE that have maybe
Like
more
Bruno.
quietly done what he's done.
Well, like Bruno. When
Larry Beal. Thank you, Ronald. Buddy, I love you. Larry Beal on ESPN was the commentator. Thank you. I was just starting to look it up.
Okay, good.
Thank you.
So
I can sleep now tonight.
Yeah, okay, good. I'm glad you can sleep. So anyway...
But so
I lost my train of thought. Okay,
no,
I
we're
got
talking
it-
about.
I got
There's
it
got to
back
be
now.
other people behind the curtain that has done that, but less
like
less
Bruno.
noisy.
Bruno left in in the late 80s or whatever he left,
Mm-hmm.
and he was a part of the forefront of the sexual misconduct, the first sexual misconduct scandal back in '92.
Okay.
And then all these years later, he finally came back. So I don't see what the difference is, Flair.
There are so many horror stories about Ultimate Warrior out there that I don't know. You can't really judge the Hall of Fame thing off their personality and stuff. It's got to be what they did in the ring. It's kind of like the Chris Benoit.
Look at all the other Hall of Fames. You have all these people.
So let me ask you this question: what's more egregious, Ultimate Warrior in this scenario, or the story of Chris Benoit? Now we know Chris is not in the Hall of Fame.
Benoit by a mile.
Benoit by not even close.
So I think we're all in agreement right now. Chris Benoit probably will never make it into the Hall of Fame.
Oh, never. No. Hell no.
However, it's the same argument with Pete Rose in a way. If you look at Chris Benoit's wrestling career, not the person, but what he did in the ring for all those years, hold on. For what he did as a performer, is that Hall of Fame worthy?
Well, yeah, but
no buts. Hang on a second. Let me finish my thought. I'm going to stop you. So, if we look at what he did in the ring, now I'm not trying to compare Chris Benoit to Ultimate Warrior, but we know that there's ulterior motives as to why they did that with the Warrior Foundation, and all that other stuff. Compare that to Pete Rose. Gambled. He's not in the Hall of Fame, but does he deserve to be in the Hall of Fame for what he did on the field?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
So, why would you put him in for what he did in the profession? Because you're not putting people in a Hall of Fame for the person who they are. Otherwise, half the Baseball Hall of Fame wouldn't be in there.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Like what Ultimate Warrior did in the ring, how popular he was, everything he did, he deserves to be in the Hall of Fame.
All the merch he sold, yeah.
The craziness the man is a whole different thing,
Yeah.
but the
Warrior
same can be
University.
said for Benoit, as far as what he did in the ring, he easily should be in the Hall of Fame.
Mm-hmm.
But because of what he did, he never will be.
Yeah.
Correct. Correct.
So,
So
persona non grata.
what's your? I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No,
on
no,
your
no,
thought,
I was gonna
but
s- I was
I'm older
gonna-
than you, and if I stop, I'll
Yeah,
forget
I
it.
know you'll forget.
My
You have that-
3/4 Halfheimers.
Yeah, your
What?
Alzheimer's with Chief. Yeah. No, I was gonna say about how with Rose didn't kill anybody, but then I started thinking about OJ and all that. So then I decided I'm not gonna go there.
Well, no. But he was already in the Hall of Fame. So taking that scenario as an example, should he be booted out because of what he did off the field? Otherwise, you're booting out Babe Ruth,
Yeah.
Ty Cobb, Honus Wagner. You're
Yeah.
getting rid of a ton of those players, okay? Because we're having the same issue right now with people who are not being voted in because of their PED involvement, and they're being kept out, which I agree with because it affected their on-field performance, in my opinion.
But with the PED thing, though, there was no drug testing back then. It wasn't
back
illegal.
then.
Yeah, but when Bonds was and Bonds, Sosa, McGuire, and all them were juicing, there was no drug testing. The owners didn't want to do it because then they would lost a ton of money.
Well,
Bonds
somehow
would've
at some point they found out they were on PEDs.
Well, yeah. Well,
Rafael Palmeiro embarrassed the crap out of himself.
But you could tell, of course, with their bodies changing.
Oh, yeah.
But the owners weren't going to agree to drug testing back then. Bonds get suspended, you lose like millions of dollars right there.
It's like that one comedian. He was like, I want my athletes to be juiced up. I want the best sports I can possibly get.
Yeah, but if that happens, then everybody needs to do it.
Oh, I know.
Because then you're on an even. Well, no, I say that because look at Derek Jeter. Look at the career he's had. Is he a Hall of Famer?
Yeah.
Yes, and I still hate that one person. Good morning, Jacob.
Luger is not in the Hall of Fame. by the
Luger's
way.
not in the Hall of Fame.
No, not yet.
Yet, although he was the topic of a biography during the new
hopefully
series.
this- hopefully next year in
But does he
LA.
deserve to be in? Because we know he was on the juice. He talked about it in his biography story.
Yeah. Well, they're all on the Jews. I mean,
But not everybody. Mick Foley's in there. He
Well,
wasn't on
Mick
juice.
Foley he was on
I've
other
been in that
Jews.
early '90s like spot. There was a lot of them doing.
Even
it.
Vince McMahon.
Brett even
Right?
said it. Brett said in his book that he used steroids.
Look, I did a show when I first started radio with a former baseball player, and he talked about how many of these PEDs were used at that time for healing purposes. I get it.
Yeah.
But if you have a pulled hamstring and you decide to use those other methods and you have a pulled hamstring, there's not a level playing field. You're
No.
on the list. You're on the
Injured list.
now.
Yeah.
For how many weeks with a pulled hamstring? You're back 10 days later because you're using some performance enhancing drugs to help you. Is that fair?
No. But
It's got, in my opinion, what you do for one, you got to do for all or
Yeah.
not. So anyway, again, this is why, Ric Flair makes a comment like that. It opens up for discussion, and we can sit here and talk about the millions of people who, not millions, but the hundreds of performers in all the Hall of Fames. I'm sure if you look at what they've done personally out of the arena of what they do, they probably would not be, because it's not a public, it's based on what you perform within that sport. Anyway, it's time for our first break of the second hour. Tom Crawford says Rick Martel should be in the WWE Hall of Fame. Interesting thought. We'll leave it there. We'll come back and we'll talk about that when we come back. Thank you for watching. We will be right back.
This is the story of one man's incredible journey from 350 to 200-pound weight loss and his mission to help and inspire others. Aaron Phillips. People are praising Aaron's new book with 5-star reviews. Aaron's various humorous and wildly entertaining stories portray his rise as a sports announcer, his encounters with exotic and irregular entertainers on the Las Vegas Strip through his long-running Vegas Unwrapped radio show, and his contagious and positive style of pursuing success. Call now or visit our website or Amazon now to get your copy of Let My Voice Speak to You, stories from a Hall of Fame radio personality. Order now.
It's not the worst podcast ever, is it? It's the best podcast. Thoughts count anywhere. All your wrestling news, all your hobbitcha hey, all your gimmickry. Go on over, listen wherever your podcasts are downloaded. The Thoughts Count Anywhere podcast. I'm the big LG Doc Ellis. That's my endorsement. Booyah!
This is John Cena. I just wanted to send you a congratulations on your podcast. Thoughts count anywhere. Because indeed they do. Thoughts are important. I mean, what would we do without them? And how can they not count anywhere? Is there a place that thoughts don't count? I can't think of one. Well, I just wanted to say thank you very much, congratulations, and good luck on the podcast. Thoughts count anywhere, because they do.
Go Live Vegas Studios, a unique multi-camera social media virtual content creators paradise. We offer high-end services using live streaming and film production for your personal or corporate, commercial or event and campaign needs. Pre-record or live stream to your audience on multiple social media platforms simultaneously. Fun and interactive with social media comments, phone lines, live remotes, audio Foley sounds, and Snapchat filters. Be creative, get recognized, and make money. We help you by providing an all in-house production team. Visit our website at golive.vegas.
Got new camera angles around here. Every time I come in here, there's different cameras. There's two there. There's over here, over there. Welcome back to Thoughts Count Anywhere.
That's what happens when you leave for 2 weeks.
Well, that just tells me they need better angles with you guys when I'm not here. That's what that tells me. Nicholas shares, just look at Hogan, all of his out-of-the-ring issues, and he has been inducted twice.
True.
Yeah.
So, thank you, Nicholas. You know, we don't see Nicholas for months, but then when he joins us, he's very active. It's like he's making up for the months that he's not watching the show. 702-329-6947. All right, let's get back to it. Gunther files for some trademarks.
I don't. What's that? What did he trademark? Is it Gunther
Ring
or Walter?
General.
Oh.
So, you know, it's just going to go with obviously what he's doing.
Kind of one of those just in cases.
Yeah, exactly. That's probably a good idea.
Speaking of the live thing.
Yeah, there you go. Well, this is where Rhonda comes out and pays the fine, right?
Yeah, that's from last week. I was talking about how we were talking off the air over it.
Yep. There's the broken arm, the arm bar, stomps on the arm.
Yeah, and then she.
Funny thing is, you know, you don't see Belair going through.
No, they book her great.
See, everybody loved that move, but
maybe Triple H doesn't really see too much in Liv.
Well,
and this was just.
But maybe he's also treating her like a female Daniel Bryan when he was
the underdog. Yeah,
the underdog could be. Anyway, let's see. We're gonna go to Braun Breaker confirms relationship with Cora Jade. Congratulations!
Good for them. Happy for him.
Brandy Rose returned to the ring at not only the Performance Center, but I believe she also did a match at a at a road event or something.
It was a live event in the Performance Center.
Oh, it was in the Performance Center. I thought it was on the road somewhere. So nothing official. She hasn't been signed to a contract yet.
She's probably like officially signed.
I would agree with that setting. Again, does the females division, presumably on the Raw side where Cody is, do we need or want to see a Brandy get in the ring? Who would you rather see get in the ring wrestle before Brandy? And I figured I would know the answer to that, but
Trish come back, Lita?
Nah. I'm surprised I'm not hearing Scarlett's name come up. We talked about her a week or two ago about getting in the ring.
Yeah, I definitely want to see her get in the ring, but everyone's saying that she's just going to be a manager and.
Funny ass for now. I mean, she's perfect with what she's doing right now with Karrion.
Well, right now she is.
Yeah,
but you know,
at some point,
you know, at some point something's going to happen where she's going to be taunted or followed up.
Can you bring
by
that comment back up, Mr. Producer? The
last
Roman?
one that just came
up. Like Kross did like an interview, and they said they want to get Alexa and Bray Wyatt in a Hell in a Cell.
I don't want to see Alexa involved with Bray Wyatt anymore.
No,
I want to see Alexa get back to who she was. True God wrote us son on Twitter at DARTDart or Dar True God says, "Why is WWE fans cheering for Roman like that? LMOA, I guess I just don't get it or see it. Like he hard butt. I don't know what that means, but
we're finally appreciating what he's done.
And he's doing the best work as a heel.
Exactly. The last 2 years, reinvented his career. He was pretty much stale as a babyface. No one liked him. He was getting booed out of the arena. And now he turned into the tribal chief. He's worked his ass off with his characters, and now we appreciate him.
Everyone acknowledges the head of the table.
Yeah, now we acknowledge him, and we sing along with it, like sing along with The Rock.
Did one of you guys put this comment in the box under Thoughts Count Anywhere?
I didn't put anything in the box.
So none of us did it, but and it could have been, well, somebody did. Thoughts Count Anywhere show posted. Manfred Donicky, a German biochemist, demonstrated that an adjuvant gas, chromatograph, could be used to detect anabolic steroids and other prohibited substances in athletes' urine samples back in 1966.
Okay.
Nicholas answers my question. Has been working mornings since November last year, and now he works graveyards and is able to catch the show. Well, we're glad to have you back, regardless of who your brother is. That's okay. Thank you very little. Okay, Vince Russo says Dakota Kai isn't a TV star like Sunny and Chyna were. Thoughts?
What does he mean by that? Like, she just got called up. She's not going to be like Sunny and Chyna right away. What the hell is he talking about?
Bro, she's just not a TV star, bro.
What makes
you ever want a headache? Just listen to his stupid podcast.
Oh, I got something later off the air for that.
There's got to be something. There's got to be something written in his contract, just like it is with Riddle. You got to be getting a side residual for the number of times you say bro. I mean, it's got to happen, right?
He says that like Sable and by like Chyna had like the look of a TV star, but he says he doesn't get like why Dakota Kai is on TV and she doesn't look like a TV star and not a lot of the other girls do and all this other crap. And I was just like, bro, go back to 1998, bro.
Go back to the cave you were hiding in.
So I want to mention that the comment that I just read.
Yeah.
And I should have thought about this before I read it, but Chief is watching now. He's awake. He's tuned in, and he just sent me a private message that says, "Look at my comment." So our crack research staff is the gentleman that put that up there. Thank you, Chief. We appreciate it. Our fan account on Twitter at World of Rollins says, I can see Tegan coming back to WWE once her visa is sorted.
That?
Yeah, I'd like to see her back.
You know who else I really want to see come back?
Who?
Bronson Reed.
Yeah.
His name, I've seen
he's not
reports.
under contract anywhere, so.
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah, absolutely.
Maybe.
I thought he was going to be like the next big star on like the main roster, and they were just like, yep, you're gone.
I thought he could have been the biggest star in Impact.
Yeah,
But they
that
dropped the
too.
ball with him.
Listen,
maybe Tenille can come back now that she's no longer with Impact.
True.
That's another name that I saw circle back because you see the reports online. Who would you like to see come
Yeah.
back? And a lot of the trade sheets are throwing Tenille's name and Bronson Reed's name. And listen, I think what happens is you get so many great talents that are out there. Everybody wants to sign them, right? AEW is backing themselves in a corner by having so much talent. Chief says, Chief is here, so Thomas, there was testing for Barry Bonds when he was in Pittsburgh.
I did not know that.
So there you have it. So Chief is watching. Chief is all around.
He is.
Tom Crawford says the Tegan Knox versus Dakota Kai feud on NXT was great.
That was great. Yeah, nice story.
There's so many talents. And I think we saw when WWE released everybody over the last couple of years, AEW was starting out. They're trying to rake him in. I mean, here's another one. Miro.
Yeah.
Where's he been? We know he's in catering. He's got a belt of some sort, right? He's got a TV championship or something.
No.
He lost that?
Yeah, it lost a long time ago.
Where is he?
He
So
was
guess
on-
what?
He was on Rampage last night.
Well, his
beat
name
up- he beat up Buddy.
his name was mentioned in like the top 10 names that should consider to come back.
Well,
and I agree with that. He's done nothing there, and he was presented in the worst possible way
Yeah.
when he made his debut.
Well, now they're feuding with. Now he's feuding with the House of Black, and Lana's going to come in.
Well, that's the speculation.
She's coming in.
You think so?
Oh yeah, the way they're building this up with Julia trying to hit on him and everything.
Yeah, and she was not very happy about that on social media.
No, Lana was not very happy. No.
So, yeah, you're right. It could be. Look, I would love to see her back. She's a polarizing figure around wrestling as a performer. Why not bring her back? I mean, she had. When was the last? She's been gone, what, almost 2 years now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not like she's been sitting idle doing nothing. You know,
No,
she's been
she's
in
been-
movies
yeah.
and whatnot. She's also posting some crazy shit on social media, and I don't mean crazy in a bad way. But there's a
Definitely
lot of
not crazy
people.
in a bad way.
There's a lot of people out there. Chief says, question, Matt, any of the NXT Europe stars just released should come back? We talked about that there's a chance they may get re-signed.
Yeah, they're probably going to be coming
I
back.
think, once the NXT Europe gets officially going, I think they're going to re-sign most of them. And all the, Zia Brookside and them, I thought, a couple of them were going to end up in, NXT, but they just let them go, so I don't...
Listen,
That's as good as mine with WWE sometimes. I don't know.
Well, and that's why we're sitting here with our own pen and pencil to figure out what we would like to see done. I mean, it's all conversation, speculation. But you just never know what's going to happen. But I think what happens is these shows get backed into a corner with too much talent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We saw it with Raw. Raw only became a 3-hour show, I think, because they had too much talent. And now, what I would love to see Triple H.
And USA backed up the Brinks truck for them.
Right. But in my opinion, still should go back to 2 hours.
It should be, yeah.
SmackDown is right at 2 hours, has better pacing at 2 hours. Okay. Thank you, Dirt Tweets, for your comment regarding NXT UK wrestlers were released from WWE. Files to beat Undertaker for World. I don't know what that part means, but we're going to see what's going to happen with all of this. And, of course, the spoiler with Tyler Bate coming out with the belt already when that show hadn't even aired in Europe yet was quite interesting. Tom asks, this is another name. Do you think Triple H would bring back Braun Strowman?
Yeah,
I thought that'd be like number one, like number 2 on everybody's list.
Right
I think Bray Wyatt's number 1 on everybody's list, but
Chief, you're okay, bud. Don't worry about it. You'll have to go back and watch the replay. Thomas even did a very bad impersonation of you.
I did.
So I agree. I think Strowman and Wyatt, Wyatt being 1, Strowman 1A, for sure would be the guys you'd be looking to bring back. Is that not best for business when your universe is clamoring for it? But then the question is, does Wyatt want to come back? We know he got into movies, and I don't know if anything actually got done, but he was supposedly getting involved in horror movies. Maybe they're developing a new mask or something. Strowman, what is he really doing? I mean, the EC3 or the one he was doing with him, that hasn't done anything. They had to cancel a show, right?
I think Braun will be back at the Rumble.
But you know what? The slot for surprise entrances are going to be very interesting this year for the men's side. Because there has to be some surprises coming back.
I wish they would do it like the old days and like they wouldn't even put up a graphic of like who was in the Royal Rumble and just leave it all as a surprise. So we're like, because like the last couple years you'd like pause the graphic and be like, all right, there's like 28 of them, so there's going to be like 2 surprise entrants.
Right.
I don't want to know any of it.
Right. No, it's a great point. I agree. The Royal Rumble is one of those events that is the best surprising style match.
Oh, yeah.
That you can do anything with on both the men and women's. Now, the only thing on the women's side, when you see the ladies come back from the Attitude Era, and I'm not talking Trish or Mickey or Lita, although they can still go a little bit. Some of the people they bring back, like Michelle McCool and some
Tori
of
Wilson,
Tori Wilson. Do they really do anything?
Kelly.
Do they really do anything?
No.
For that, I mean, they had Victoria come back this last year, which was kind of cool to see her come back.
Yeah.
Right. But the men's side, to me, has always been the more electric side of the Rumble. All right, we're at the bottom of the hour of hour number 2. It's time for us to step aside so we can take it up. Say real quick, Ryan Smith says, Bray, I think, comes back and confronts the Bloodline at Clash of the Castle. Is his first appearance going to be as the Fiend or in the Firefly Funhouse? We'll touch on that. We come back when we continue with hour number 2. We'll take it right to the top when we come back right after this.
This is the story of one man's incredible journey from 350 to 200-pound weight loss and his mission to help and inspire others. Aaron Phillips. People are praising Aaron's new book with 5-star reviews. Aaron's various humorous and wildly entertaining stories portray his rise as a sports announcer, his encounters with exotic and irregular entertainers on the Las Vegas Strip through his long-running Vegas Unwrapped radio show, and his contagious and positive style of pursuing success. Call now or visit our website or Amazon now to get your copy of Let My Voice Speak to You, stories from a Hall of Fame radio personality. Order now.
What's up, man? It's your boy, Fatu. I'm here with my man, Big G. I need you to check out the podcast, Thoughts Count Anywhere. This is the essential character EC3 on behalf of my dear friends at Thoughts Count Anywhere. The podcast for your mind when you need deep thinking about all things sports and entertainment.
Hello, this is Martin Casals, a.k.a. Marty the Mob, and you're watching Thoughts Count Anywhere podcasts. Enjoy!
This is Impact Wrestling's Dashing Chris Bay, the ultimate finesser, former Finesse Division champion, and you're listening to Thoughts Count Anywhere podcast.
Thoughts Count Anywhere. Y'all watching it. This is my new tag team partner, Steve-O, a.k.a. Zeus, from the hit movie Friday, and from No Holds Barred.
Hi, I'm Sean Navari. Listen to Thoughts Count Anywhere for all your wrestling news.
Hey, what's going on? This is Axe, and I'm smashing the demolition. And we want to invite you to watch every Saturday morning. Thoughts Count Anywhere.
This is John Cena. I just wanted to send you a congratulations on your podcast. Thoughts count anywhere. Because indeed they do. Thoughts are important. I mean, what would we do without them? And how can they not count anywhere? Is there a place that thoughts don't count? I can't think of one. Well, I just wanted to say thank you very much, congratulations, and good luck on the podcast. Thoughts count anywhere, because they do.
Go Live Vegas Studios, a unique multi-camera social media virtual content creators paradise. We offer high-end services using live streaming and film production for your personal or corporate, commercial or event and campaign needs. Pre-record or live stream to your audience on multiple social media platforms simultaneously. Fun and interactive with social media comments, phone lines, live remotes, audio Foley sounds, and Snapchat filters. Be creative, get recognized, and make money. We help you by providing an all in-house production team. Visit our website at golive.vegas.
All right, welcome back. Thoughts Count Anywhere. We're going to take it to the top. So we're going to switch out of the WWE for the moment. Let's go into the AEW report. And Chief, if you're still listening, pay attention to this line. Tony Khan said on the number 189,876,635th Wrestling Podcast, busted open, that the person he gets compared to the most is Paul Heyman, which has got a good laugh from people in WWE.
What would he's not a mad genius like Heyman. He's not, I don't think Khan's the one coming up with most of these storylines. It's got to be like Jericho and Danielson and Regal and the Elite. I don't see any comparison to Heyman other than starting up. Well, Heyman didn't start up ECW, but other than being an owner of
Bless you.
Yeah, bless you.
Get that fixed already, will you?
Yeah, get it out of here.
Shut up.
Where's that Lysol spray? Can we get that, please?
Where's that rapid COVID test here?
Yeah. Thank you. Hope you didn't get any on you.
I gotta run.
Do we want to say at this point, 3 years, right? AEW, 3 years, right about now, right? Okay. If you assess what Tony Khan has done in the first 3 years on a scale of 1 to 10, okay, where would you rate what he's done with AEW from the beginning to today?
I give it a good 8.
Okay.
From other people that we have seen run promotions recently, I give them a 15. Wow. And you know what the hell I'm talking about.
I do. I do, number 3. But anyway, no, it's interesting because here's what would happen. He's admittedly a wrestling fan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Regardless of what his dad may or may not have helped him get started, he's a wrestling fan. You basically have a mark.
Yep.
Running a show, right? So I think early on, he did a better job when he had Jericho in his ear. And I don't know if Jericho, I saw an article he kind of alluded to that he may not be as involved in storylines as he was at the beginning. You lost Cody.
Mm-hmm.
You still have the Young Bucks.
Yep.
But you made an interesting point. William Regal's there. Is he involved in any of the storyline development? You got Samoa Joe. He could be writing some great storylines. So there is some possibility. But to me right now, I know everybody's crazy for AEW. Is it because they're more anti-WWE versus buying into their product? Is it all the blood?
It is. It's because they're anti-WWE.
Yeah, I mean, and is it all the blood that you're now seeing on AEW?
They need to go away. I'm sick of it.
It's too much. That's why I'm not into GCW stuff. It's just too much. That's not wrestling. To me, that's not wrestling. But has the new car smell started wearing off of AEW? Because now you're hearing grumblings. We've heard it. Jonathan Grisham was talking about how Tony Khan doesn't communicate with him, at least.
And
now
the ratings are going down.
Ratings are slipping
at the wrong time.
Mm-hmm.
Right when contract negotiations are picking up.
Absolutely. And then you hear the same lack of communication from other notable wrestlers. So maybe there is something there. Again, where there's smoke, there's fire, where we see it with Vince, right? Another report came out this past week or late last week when I was out of town. Another $4 or $5 million payment. They don't have all the details yet, but they uncovered another payment. So
yeah, it was $5 million that he donated to the Donald Trump Foundation.
Oh, okay. So that's what it was.
Yeah.
Unauthorized, I'm sure.
Yeah, that should have been documented as an expense.
Tom Crawford says AEW is relatively mirroring what WCW was when they were coming up, albeit a little quicker. By the way, I was told during our break we did have some folks from Australia on Twitter say hello to us. We're sorry that we missed that, but we're very thankful and grateful that you folks out in Australia.
Call in if you can from Australia. Call in.
1-855-502-4321 is our international number. Press the number 1. Although Australia is like, we're in the morning, so they're like, it's like 10 at night there. Aren't they like on the other side of the schedule right now?
I think AEW puts on like a really good show, but there's also like points in that show where you're like, oh my God, this is the coolest thing I've seen all week.
Sure.
And then they go to the next segment and you're like, what the hell are they doing?
Did I change shows? What'd you say, Aaron? Hold on. Oh, they said good morning. Well, it could have been tape delay. Anyway.
Well, it was like Rampage last night. I thought it was a boring show. I couldn't get into it at all.
But for like years, you could say the same thing about WWE being like,
yeah, but it was.
Oh my God, this is awesome! And
yeah,
what is this? Yeah. Fast forward. No, I'm not doing this.
The only time they had competition was the 83 weeks.
Yeah.
Right with WCW, Eric Bischoff and company.
Yeah.
I think WWE in some form or another is going to outlast everybody and everything.
Oh yeah, for sure.
You know. They keep doing other productions. Again, I don't know if you guys are following the specials, the biographies. I just watched the one this past week, then the Rivalry. This past week was on Triple H for the biographies.
DX was the biography and the Rivalry.
Oh, the DX, right. And then the Rivalry was Mick.
Ooh, we have another phone call.
We have another phone call, but it's not from Australia.
Oh, man.
Ronald, longtime friend, supporter. How are you, bud?
I am good.
What's up? What's on your mind?
So I have a friend of mine that lives here in Florida that does business with Braun Strowman.
Okay.
And I asked him if Braun was coming back.
Are we getting a scoop here? Is this a scoop?
Maybe.
All
Is this
right.
breaking news?
Let's go for it.
Dun, 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 dun.
He said he cannot confirm or deny, but Braun Strowman did receive a call from Hunter the other day while he was standing there and knew it was Hunter.
Well, this is the friend knew it was Hunter?
No. A friend of mine has his own business, and he contacted Braun Strowman and EC3 and is doing business with them for his business he's got.
Okay.
Why Braun Strowman was at his shop the other day, Triple H called Braun Strowman.
And your buddy, though, this happened while he was in your buddy's business?
Yes.
So how does your buddy know that he was on the phone with Triple H? How does he know it was Triple H that was calling? Did Strowman say, hi, Paul?
I mean, I guess. I don't know. I didn't ask him, but he said that to watch Braun Strowman's Instagram to see where things might go. And then he also hinted at Bray. So maybe Strowman and Bray return together.
And that would fall right in line with what we were talking about earlier as a family style thing again.
Yep.
Well, listen, that's great info, man. Thank you for sharing that with us. And
thank you, Ronald.
You know, adding speculation, but watching his social media pages, I think will lead us to it. Thank you, bud, for calling in. We appreciate it.
Yep, no problem.
There you go.
I remember when Ring of Honor was in Vegas, and I was talking to like Adam Cole after the show, and like me and my friend were just bullshitting with him. He had his phone kind of like this, and then we were just talking, and his phone started ringing. And it clearly said Triple H.
Oh, really?
And there was an incoming call, and he was like, I got to take this. You guys didn't see anything. And I was like, ooh, I know where you're going.
Exactly. Oh, wow. Well, that's good. Well, listen.
Would that be considered tampering, though, now?
His contract he was on like a date by date deal. He wasn't even under contract.
Oh,
yet.
okay.
Right, yeah. At the end of his time, he was on a per show or thing. Yeah, it wasn't a full-fledged contract. But some star of AEW though did share that this individual was contacted as they are under contract by WWE to see if they were going to possibly consider coming over to WWE. Okay, Tom says he enjoys having another promotion to watch. And that's fine. I'm not hating on AEW. I'm just asking the question that is the honeymoon phase slowing down for AEW?
Definitely.
Chris Jericho, you don't think? Okay, I got a yes and a no. There you have it. It's a definite maybe then. It's a definite maybe. All right, before we forget, you know what time it is? Let's shift gears. It is time for some birthdays. Although Thomas did an adequate job last week, I'm now taking the reins back over on birthdays, at least while I'm here. So
Birthday time.
I have my time.
That's right. Here's the Godzilla version of birthday announcements. All right. With that, if you're celebrating your birthday today, August 20th, we want to wish you a happy birthday through next Friday of August 27th. And you are celebrating a birthday with these people. On August 20th, today, we have Byron Saxton, Tori, he didn't even want to write this down. He wrote it as Walter because he hates Gunther as the name. So Walter, Gunther, whoever you are, happy birthday. Aaliyah Mysterio has a birthday today as well. Tomorrow, the 21st, Eve Torres, Judy Grable, Keith Hart, Nathan Jones, and Roe. August 22nd, the Uso Boys are celebrating their birthday. The great Paul Ellering, which, by the way, I met at CAC last year. I still have his number. I got to reach out to him. We got to get him on the show.
Yes, you do.
Stevie Ray, one half of Harlem Heat, Adrian Neville, and Apollo Crews. By the way, Apollo Crews is doing much better in NXT from what I'm reading.
Yep. Oh,
Because
yeah.
he's kind of back to what he was. No more the Nigerian accent
nope.
and all that, right?
Nope.
August 23rd, we have Ryan Howe. We also have on the 24th, Funaki, the great Rocky Johnson. Wow. Vincent Kennedy McMahon on the 24th. And Graham Metallic also on the 24th. August 25th, Crash Holly, David Young, Ivan Koloff, Kylie Ray. August 26th, AJ Kirsch, Duncan Jr., Bobby Duncan Jr., and Petey Williams. And I'm saving the best for last. Also on the 25th, our fan favorite, your number one nemesis, Mr. Thomas.
23rd.
That's what did I say?
25th.
23rd. I feel like now I'm doing the mime thing. August 23rd, our very favorite, Miss Brandy Lowry. Happy birthday to all of you out there. Please make it a safe one so you're back here watching and following us here.
Big birthday bash for Brandy on Wednesday night at L2 Texas Barbecue.
Really?
Yeah, music bingo night.
All right.
Thanks for the invite.
Yeah, really.
You're both fired. I'm inviting you on her behalf. It's open to the public.
Oh, my. Of? Look at the.
I'm looking at the camera, yeah.
You stay.
There you go.
Oh, my God. WWE very happy with WrestleMania ticket sales. They sold over 49,000 tickets for each night of the event so far. You're welcome, Brandy.
Jesus Christ, they're expensive.
Ronald also shares with us that I guess it's that same friend just said that Redbeard was at the Performance Center also.
Interesting.
Could we have a reunion?
We could be.
Sad -1, of course.
Yeah.
May he rest in peace. But yeah, interesting. So 49,000 tickets sold for each night. I know Sam, our good friend Sam in Jersey, he and April have already purchased their tickets. He was quick to tell me that. The Usos, you mentioned this during a break, were not allowed in Canada for SmackDown, which is why you didn't see them last night.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of returns on AEW this week, Kenny Omega made his return in the 6-man or the trio championship
Trios
thing.
tournament.
You got a big introduction for that. Justin Robertson's reading like a freaking book.
Thank you, Chief. That was as good as the Thrustbusters. Yes, it was. Thank you very much.
That should be the new tag team name of Liv Morgan and Alexa Bliss.
Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. The Gun Club turned on their dad, Billy Gunn, on Dynamite.
Yawn.
That was one of those segments you're just like, what the hell are they doing? Because, it seemed like Billy Gunn was over it in, 3 seconds.
Yeah.
He was just like...
No sell.
Because, it goes back to, because he cared more about the Acclaimed when they were all together. So now he's been comparing the boys to the Acclaimed, so now he's with the Acclaimed. He's got what he wants. That's
You would
why he's
figure
over
if
it.
like your kids attacked you, you'd be like, "Oh my god, I can't believe this." Blah blah. And
Yeah.
he's like,
Well, he's getting into-
scissor me, daddy.
Yeah. Well, he's facing Colton and on Dynamite anyway. So
Well, at least send him to timeout or something for crying out loud.
he'll
Go
be
ahead.
going to Colton. Be going to the woodshed on Wednesday night.
Yeah. Thunder Rosa versus Tony Storm for the AEW's Women's Championship is
New
made
champ.
official for All Out.
New champ.
Let's see. AEW signs 2.0 to contract extensions.
Good for them, but they weren't going to go back to NXT anyway.
Sports entertainers.
That's right. Come on now. We already talked about Punk and Moxley will be on Dynamite this week for the undisputed, again that favorite word, AEW Championship. That title becoming undisputed, as we talked about earlier, makes a hell of a lot more sense
Yes, it does.
than the undisputed title. Dr. Will Smith on Twitter at Dr. Will Smith will slap you in the head. Forget what you think you know. Hashtag SmackDown.
I was gonna say, if I remember, will you slap me?
Exactly.
Do you
What
have
else?
alopecia too?
That's right. Let's go to the Impact and Indie Report. Longtime WWE referee Scott Armstrong is now working for Impact Wrestling. And
Good for him.
Deonna Purrazzo is in contract negotiations with Impact as her contract expires at the end of the year. Watching the biography story on DX this past week, I did not know Road Dogg who his father was.
How did you not know that?
I must have missed the memo.
I guess so.
Share it. Did everybody know this piece of information?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, share it in case there's. I
Road-
guarantee you. Wait a minute. I guarantee you, Jennifer in Hawaii, who's not a wrestling fan but loves us, did not know this piece
That
of
does
information.
not count.
Yes, it does. She's
That
a fan.
does not
She
count.
I bet
follows
you
us.
there's a guy in the room that didn't know either.
Well,
Yeah.
so that would make two of us.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Road Dogg's father is Bullet Bob Armstrong.
That's right.
Road Dogg is part of the famous Armstrong family.
I did not know that.
He broke the Armstrong curse.
Of what, winning titles?
Yeah, being successful, yeah.
Okay.
Because
Being
there's always like
successful.
a running gag on like Saturday night and stuff. How there's with Brett Armstrong always losing, there's an Armstrong family curse, and Road Dogg broke it.
Well, there you have. I did honestly. I did not remember. Maybe I did at one point, but it was it was something new that I kind of reacted to when I heard that piece during his biography. Okay, what else do we have on here? Gunk, we talked about that. Let's see, WrestleMania. Oh, WWE employees are now allowed to buy and sell WWE stock after not being able to after the Vince situation.
I guess.
I think that's important for the business that they
Yeah.
can now do that.
I wonder how many people are immediately gonna sell.
Can you put that one quickly back up there? The one that you just had up there from Twitter. Someone, and I want to get it right when it comes back up. I got a quick glance at it. Ruffin looks at Furry Ruffin says, which members of the Dark Order are wrestling in the Trios tournament?
Alex
Hashtag AEW.
Reynolds, John Silver, and 10.
Okay. I was going to ask, do they even still do the Dark Order thing anymore? It's not.
Yeah,
I
it's
haven't
only
s-
down to like
It's
4
only-
or 5 members.
Yeah, it's
now.
only like 4 now.
The Dark, but they still
Evil
have
Uno, Alex Reynolds, John Silver, and 10.
and they still had the -1, right? The Sun.
Yeah,
He's
-1,
technically
yeah.
-1. But
Yeah.
Okay. Well, thank you for the question there on Twitter. We appreciate it. What else? What else is on here? I think I pretty much covered everything on the run sheet today, right? Did I? Oh, here's one.
Except pop
that-
culture, but yeah.
Yeah, well, no. I didn't get to that yet. Olympic gold medalist Gable Steveson has been training with former WWE star Mr. Kennedy.
If you want to learn how to get hurt really quick, go for it.
Or how to announce your name into a hanging microphone.
I would hope Gable Steveson isn't as injury prone as
Couldn't there
Kennedy
be
had like the worst timing with injuries possible.
Couldn't there have been somebody better that he could have learned from? I mean, really.
Yeah, Kurt, Regal, when he was still with the company.
Right.
Rumor has it he has access to this big ass place called the WWE Performance
Yeah,
Center.
so why is he- yeah.
Where like Shawn Michaels works all the time.
You would think, right?
Is he still in school, though, or did he graduate?
Oh, he's wrestling this year, I think.
So that's probably why he's not going down to Orlando right now, because he doesn't want to
Probably.
trip that. And I believe Kennedy lives in Minnesota still, so.
Yeah.
Interesting. Well, that's who Gable's working out with. We'll see. Plus, I hope he does better on the mic than he did when he was introduced at that pay-per-view.
WrestleMania.
Right. Well, that's why I said the pay-per-view. WrestleMania, same thing. All right, let's get into a couple of pop culture things. From California that has showed up in many, many movies is that big-ass donut, that donut shop in California. We've seen it in Superman. We've seen it in so many countless movies.
Yeah.
Randy's Donuts now has successfully opened up a store here in Vegas. and they sold out all their donuts, like 10,000 of them. They literally sold out on the day that they opened. I have not experienced Randy Donuts. Obviously, Randy's Donuts in California.
Hey, Chief.
Yeah, Chief.
You have a mission next week.
Take a quick.
We don't want Krispy Kremes. Well, Randy's.
I will
Please
be
and thank you.
I will be talking about this later on in an hour on my show because their location is off of Rainbow.
Sahara and Rainbow.
Sahara and Rainbow, so it must be on that corner there, which is not a bad location.
The line was into the street.
Was it really? I just want to know, and I asked this on social media when I posted this, why is the guy who owns Randy's Donuts not named Randy? Now, maybe the original owner was.
Maybe,
but
yeah.
Some guy, something Mark or something, I believe was. Somebody responded to it on my comments box, but
Then there was the Dutch Brothers that opened up on Nelson Vegas Valley yesterday.
Okay. Who owns Dutch Brothers? Mr. Dutch?
Probably, yeah.
Dutch Mantel?
Maybe Dutch Mantel, yeah.
Who's this? Seduce and Scheme. Oh, my goodness. At Pinnock Studios, Aaron, I love you. Thank you, Seduce. Wow. Message me direct.
Slide into them DMs.
Yeah, I was going to say that.
She worked at a studio. I wonder what kind of studio it was. But anyway. Oh, and Madden 23. Who's on the cover? Who's going to get the curse this year of Madden's games?
John Madden's on the
John
cover.
Madden's on the cover this year.
To honor him after he
Yeah.
passed. Okay.
The curse.
That's the ultimate curse.
Yeah,
isn't it?
the gravest
Wow.
curse.
Wow. Yeah, that's true. So Madden's on it. What? What do you... Oh, Chief. Oh, my goodness. Chief says hashtag hubcaps. Thank you, Chief. Well, listen, what can I tell you? Tom shares FSW Survival of the Fittest tomorrow at Silver Nugget, Event Center, 5 p.m. Chief shared with me during the week when we were talking about UWW, they posted on social media that they're looking for other venues, UWW. And Silverton, at one point, their name had come up in conversation, but Chief mentioned that they're going to be getting ready to do a huge overhaul. Does anybody know anything like when that might start and what part of the property may start with? So
I forget that Silverton exists 99 times out of 100, so
Yeah.
I couldn't tell you.
So, Tom, since you seem to be in the know, you have about 2 minutes or 3 minutes to post that information in terms of a date. Chief may know if he knows. So, okay. So that's pretty much all we got. The run sheet, believe it or not, has been covered pretty much from top
We
to
hit
bottom.
everything. That's great.
That's it. That's why I drive the car, gentlemen. It may look like a ton of stuff on here, but we get it done, even if it's inside conversation. Let's talk about our website. We haven't really talked about that much this week. ThoughtsCountAnywhere.com. Anything new coming up on our merch tab?
I think I'm going to take down that WWE creative writing shirt just because their creative writing has been pretty good recently.
Absolutely. Maybe we
I
can
got to make
replace
some
it.
kind of like bow down to Triple H shirt or something.
Yeah.
He is the game, right? Don't mess with the game. So that's up there. But we still have all the other shirts that are still up there, all the Chief shirts, my shirts. We got all kinds of new stuff. Listen, the jersey that I have on, I showed this last week from Lake Havasu. It is not on our website. However, I can set it up as such that if people like our straight out of TCA jerseys where you can get your name and number put on the back, we can certainly do that. Chief and Ain't Easy, Hall of Fame. My book is on there, which you can get for $6.99 through Amazon, or you can just message me. I'll autograph a copy. You can send it up. But more importantly, everything that you see on the site comes back and supports TCA so that we can continue to bring you our show every week possible, and then some. Who knows? We would appreciate the support. Share us with all your fans. Those of us watching on YouTube, subscribe to us. Hit that little red button. Please make sure you share our feed on Facebook as well. All right, they're playing our song. So you know what that time means. Mr. Mullen, final thoughts.
Everybody have a good week.
Sign
Hopefully
is
your lips
being
match
fit.
up to the words and wear your pig mask tight. The only thing I can think of for this week, because
If you're wearing a
feels
pig
wild.
If you're wearing a pig mask tight, there's no way your lips and mouth will match up in any way, shape, or form. That's funny. All right. Words of wisdom to live by. Thomas, your final thoughts.
Be safe. Drink lots of fluids. Don't do anything stupid.
If you do
Do
something
stupid things, it makes life interesting.
Well, I was going to say, and if you do something stupid, do it down to Fremont Street.
And get it on video because we all want to see.
That's right. Matt will report on it. Chief says our sign is being fixed. So just clicked what you were referring to, our retractable banner. Thank you very much for that. All right, been a great show. Make sure you stay tuned next week because who knows what will happen on Thoughts Count Anywhere next week. As always, good to be back in studio.
Good to have you back.
Good to be here.
Glad to have you back.
But you definitely need to work on your verbiage
yeah.
and voice together. All right, reminder, top of the hour, join me on Aaron's Hour. My special guest, Lauren Tallman, she is an erotica author. And we're going to talk about her books. Now she got into this. It'll be interesting. Join me at the top of the hour. As always, be kind to everybody. What's that? Where we have. See you next time right here on Tuesday.